All right, hey, let's turn that down for a second. All right, well, welcome to the first live stream. I'll set expectations high and say I'm gonna just keep this thing light. I'll do the unboxing, we'll play through it, but I have not super put an agenda on the list here. So we'll kind of just run down. I am watching chat as we go through this. So, hey, Willie. Hey, Addie. Hey, Aubrey. Elvis. Nice. Thanks for all coming. I literally, when I set this thing up, I was kind of like, if I have no one show up, it's fine. I'll just basically make a video out of this like I usually do. I didn't expect anybody to be here. So there are people here. How's it going? Hopefully everything's working well. Be sure to, throw down if the audio is not working. I kind of have it off to the corner here as well, and it seems to be fine, except for, a ginormous lag. So, yeah, I mean, I think everything is pretty well going. I'm going to start by talking about the trumpet that we'll be unboxing today, right? So I do unboxing stuff. This trumpet I got, it's weird because I went to Amazon lately to try to find it again, and I had a heck of a time finding it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let's see. So if you go to Amazon and you type in plastic trumpet, you will not find this thing. Right? So there's the Pampet. That seems to be the most popular one, but I've heard bad things about it. Like people, when they think plastic trumpets, they usually point to this thing and they're like, it doesn't work well, blah, blah, tons of issues. Now I haven't played it myself, so for all I know, it's actually really good. I don't know. But you scroll down a little bit and you hit normal trumpets. Well, toy trumpets more than anything, but you hit, this is the Mendini trumpet that I bought. That's not a plastic trumpet. I specifically typed plastic trumpet at the top. And mine is not on there, the one that I found. So I went a step further and I typed in the name of the actual trumpet. So you type in Tromba trumpet, this thing pops up. That is $300. That is not the trumpet I bought. That would be expensive for a plastic trumpet. Don't buy this one, okay? You go here, that's the Pampet again. I literally typed in Tromba trumpet and the Pampet shows up, as well as all of these metal trumpets. None of these are the trumpet I'm gonna be looking at today. So, scroll down a little bit more, scroll down a little bit more, keep going, keep going. There it is right there. It doesn't even have a little Prime sticker. It doesn't have anything. And it says the cheapest one is 160 bucks. I did not buy this $160 trumpet. Click on it. Once you click on it, you are given other color options, and you'll see this guy right here is the closest iteration of mine. I actually got the gold version, which apparently they don't have. This one and this one are not the same gold as mine. I'll show you what mine looks like in a second. But these two, I think are the same type as mine. I want to say that these are actually a different version of the Tromba trumpet. I don't know that. But obviously, look at the pricing, 69 bucks. This one's 160 bucks. This is it's either the same thing or it's a worse version of the one that I got, which was, when I got it, it was 69 bucks. So, and I'll show you mine. So let me pull my order history up here. So this is my Tromba. So I click on it and it goes to that. But this, let's see, where's my order details? Right here. I just realized that's going to show my address. Well, it's 69 bucks. That's what you need to know, right? So, and it looks like this one, except it's not a flugelhorn. So it's got the nice, black on it. It's also called Tromba Pro. 2 hours ago, I went on and I tried to figure out what the difference between just the Tromba trumpets are and the Tromba Pro trumpets are, and I could not find it, okay? I looked on Tromba's website and they only list one trumpet on there. I have no idea. So, I guess I'm gonna be doing the Tromba Pro, hopefully, because I hope that's what Amazon says I got, but I don't know what the difference is. It doesn't say Tromba Pro on it. I don't think. I'm pretty sure all of the Tromba trumpets have the like same valve system, which I'll get into once we actually open it up. I don't want to give you any spoilers just yet. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of the deal we're going with. Again, if you guys have any questions, you know, throw it into chat. I'll try to keep up as I go through here. I'm gonna I mean, my head's gonna be all over the place probably, but you know, I'll if you got questions about any of the trumpet stuff I'm talking about, any of my other instruments, like setup stuff, like anything, just go ahead and throw it on there. I'll try to get to you. So, like, hey, Epinel, Flugel, Rain, how's it going? I love South Dakota high school band student. That's awesome. Good for you. I am a South Dakota band director as well. If you didn't know, I teach at a small school in South Dakota. So, yeah, that's. I think why don't we? Oh yeah, that's a good question. Why didn't I get the blue one? I think when I ordered the blue one, Aubrey, I think it was more expensive, so I went with the cheaper one. You can't quote me on it. I don't know that for sure, but the blue one actually does look pretty cool. I think the one that I got looks a little bit cooler anyways. So, I mean, we'll see. So, here it is, Tromba. If you don't know Tromba, it's actually the same brand as my plastic trombone. I don't know if you can read the little Tromba thing. It's kind of, there we go, Tromba. And I love this thing. This is my first plastic instrument I ever tried. I like it a lot. It works really well. I can test it out for you a little later if you want. If you haven't checked out my trombone unboxing video, go check it out. You can see what that instrument's all about. But today we're gonna be talking about this guy. So you get the cute little elephant on there. What's my most expensive instrument? Elvis wants to know. That'd be, I think it's my marimba. I have a 5-octave marimba. It's not in my house. It wouldn't hardly fit in our house. We have a fairly moderate house, and a 5-octave marimba is huge. So I brought it to school so that my kids can use it. The school actually doesn't have a marimba, so I brought it there so that my kids could use it. And if it wasn't at the school, I probably would hardly ever play it. So yeah, I'm a percussionist. That's my main instrument. I should get that out of the way first, actually. If you're new to the channel, when I start playing this trumpet, you're gonna hear a percussionist rendition of trumpet playing. So give me a little bit of slack as I butcher my way through. I'm not bad at the trumpet. It's probably my second or third best instrument. Yeah, and I also have a fairly nice piano as well. So I've got like a Roland 700 NX, I think, or 7,700 NX, or whatever it is. And I've had it for, I don't know, a long time, but it's like awesome. And it's as good as the day I got it. So those are my two best instruments. I also have a hammered dulcimer, which embarrassingly I have sitting in its case over there in the corner, and it's not out. And it should be, because I spent a ton of money on it and then I hardly ever played it. So yeah. All right, I need to get something to open this up. I got one after you rated. Oh man, you got the trombone, Elvis? That's awesome. I mean, I hope it's working out good for you. I really like it. I mean, I don't like, yeah, I have like Amazon affiliate links on some of that stuff, but like I'm not sponsored by any of these things. So like, if I say, it's good, that's just my opinion of it. I'm not, like, Tromba did not sponsor me to make this video. If the trumpet ends up being garbage and trash, I will tell you that it's garbage and trash, and then you shouldn't buy it, which I'm going to try to keep for all of my videos. I have been like pleasantly surprised with most of my instruments. The only instrument so far that has not lived up to expectations has been my clarinet. And that was only because the mouthpiece is actually trash. So once I put a better mouthpiece on it, it played really well. But with the mouthpiece that came with it, unplayable. Like if a beginner would have gotten that clarinet, they would have probably quit band after a week because they wouldn't have been able to make a sound, which is terrible. So that's the biggest thing I'll say is if you get one of those cheap clarinets, get a new mouthpiece for it. I was really mad about that. It kind of showed in the video, but like what a waste of like an almost really good instrument. The fact that they didn't put a good mouthpiece, because if you're not like a band director who's got, a bunch of different mouthpieces you can try on there, like you're just going to be thinking that it's your fault not being able to play it. It's really frustrating. So yeah, don't cheap out on the clarinet mouthpiece at the very least. It might be worth just getting a better clarinet. But now that I got the clarinet, mouthpiece changed. I mean, it works great. So there you have it. Okay, I'm gonna get something to open this. I got a tool thing put up in the back here. It's because I never remember to bring back implements to actually open these boxes up. So now I finally got something. Let's see. Oh, trombone. I'll watch that. Yeah, there you go. Go watch that trombone video. That's one of my best ones. It's kind of funny. You go back, if you watch the reviews in order, you'll see like how much better the not only the video quality, but like the audio quality and like the editing and all that stuff has gone. Man, when I did that trumpet video, I had no idea like what I was doing as far as like editing and all that stuff. That trumpet video took ages. And then by the time I got to the trombone one, I got a little better. And then from there, it's gotten quite a bit better. So yeah, I like that trombone video. It's fun. Do you still have the trombone, or did you send it back at the video? It's right there, man. Right there, Willie. Here's my trombone. Boom. Yeah. So actually, if you're curious what all instruments I have done so far, as I still kind of like open this bad boy up, flute, trumpet, clarinet, trombone. Those are the 4 instruments I've reviewed. I have them all as set pieces until school starts, and then I actually have to start using it. So I've got like a week and a half before I'm gonna have to haul all of my instruments back to the school. So for now, those are the 4 instruments that I did. If you want me to like run through and play them all real fast, I can do that. You know, by the time we're done here. I won't do it now because I would have to run and grab a clarinet reed. I don't have a reed on there. I'm being a good influence and not leaving my reed on the instrument, even though I kind of do it at the school. So I'll pull this thing out. That is a cool little case. As I poke myself in the eye on the cardboard box here. Nothing else in there. That little poke in the eye is something that I would usually edit out of a video, but I'm not going to be doing that during a live stream because I can't. So you can see all the beautiful me getting poked in the eye footage because you came to this video. All right, let's see. All right, that's a cool case. I'm a fan, not gonna lie. It's like fitted good. Yeah, man. Let me catch up to a couple comments here. That was me with my first reads. The way I see the order of the clarinet sound is reed mouthpiece. Yeah, Ryan, I absolutely agree. If your reed's terrible, doesn't matter how good the clarinet is, the rest of it's going to be trash. And actually, when you watch the video, I thought that for about the first half of that video, I thought it was actually the reed that was giving me the problem. So I tried a different reed, which was my synthetic next, and then that also gave me problems. So I was like, maybe it's my synthetic reed. So I tried another reed, still no luck. So then I finally tried the mouthpiece, and yeah, so it was definitely the mouthpiece. Let's see, first week the whole box 10. Yeah, reeds, man. Percussion's so great because like if my stick is bad, I can feel that. Like it's, you know, like sound quality is not going to be that affected with a drumstick. I mean, it is, don't get me wrong, but I can feel if a drumstick's bad when I'm like hitting stuff with it. Man, a reed, like you just, it's tough. I mean, I love being a percussionist. It's like we name things great. It's all the things for percussion. Let's see. Yeah, Willie, I will eventually do a video like that. I can't even begin, you know, I should probably do it before school starts actually because I'm gonna have to take all my instruments back. But like I thought it might be fun by the end of this video if I took my B cam here and we did a walk through my little closet over here. I've got like all my cases and everything in a closet and it's just a mess of instruments right now. You won't be able to see them all, obviously, but I can at least like talk through what we've got, and if anyone's super interested, we can see what we're doing here. I love, man, it's funny. I love that there is a live chat going on right now of people debating like the order of importance of clarinet like parts. Like this is a fun video. That's fun. All right, sweet. Let's keep going. I took it out in the case, and then you guys are all distracting me with your great comments. All right, let's see what we got here. So I got to point this out because it's like cool. Now, again, I paid $69 for this, right? Not even $70. So like the fact that it comes with the case at all is like, I mean, whatever. It's $60. There's cases that are more expensive than that. So here, let me throw this here. So looking here, you got cool little zipper things that say Tromba on it. That's like the kind of thing that, here, let's see. Sorry, I gotta mute these guys. There we go. That's a cool little feature that you're not gonna get on most like little cheapy Amazon things, right? Tromba seems to be a step above the rest when it comes to plastic stuff that I've seen like so far, like that trombone, like the fact that they have plastic or the fact that they have like actual cardboard boxes and like I don't know. It seems like they are a little bit more legit than your typical like no-name brand Chinese metal instrument maker. I don't know. So, all right, let's keep going here. Zipper works really good. That's a nice action zipper. I don't know why I'm going to the main pocket when there's a side pocket I could start with. So I'm gonna start with the side pocket. Let's pull these out. Oh, good start here. I got 2 mouthpieces. I have never. I'm already going to be showing how un-trumpet player-y I am. I don't think I've ever played on a trumpet mouthpiece that was that shape before. I know it's a thing, like I know it's not like weird, but I've never done it. Here, let's see. So we've got a 5C and a 7C. I typically actually play on a 3 for really no reason. That's just kind of what I have. So here's the 5. 7. There you go. They're mouthpieces. I'll move my keyboard a little bit here and bonk. There we go. So moving along. This is a... I don't know what this is. What's this, chat? Is this like one of those things you push through an instrument to... It looks like one of those things you'll put your, like a swab through to pull, you know, spit out or whatever, but like... Trumpet? I don't know. It comes with a snake, too. With... Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot about this part of it. Yeah, so it does come with a snake cleaner. Whoa. A snake cleaner. Excuse me. See, I would have cut that drop out, too. Livestream woes. First livestream, folks. Mouthpiece cleaner, whoa, and you know, so we got that. There, here. Sorry, I gotta try to show the close stuff over here so you can actually see it. That's that. Snake. This is that thing. I don't know what that is. Somebody hit me up. Harry Potter wand. That's what it is. Yeah. See, I thought it was a cleaning rod, but I don't know. So whatever. We've got one. I've got one if I need it. And then we've got the case strap. I'm going to hook it up. I love modeling these things. It's one of my favorite parts of video making is throwing the strap on and just really seeing if it's going to make you look cool. Because that's half the battle, right? We've got enough things to contend with. It's got to make you look cool. Before I do that, it also comes with... Ooh, I wonder if these are like extras. Woo! Extra valve things, right? So that's cool. The keys. That got 3 of them. I'm hoping it actually comes with them on there as well, so that I just have extras. I don't really want to have to put the whole thing together. Not that it's that big of a deal. All right, got some thing. We recommend Ultra Pure Professional Valve Oil, synthetic, non-toxic, long-lasting, proven to be safe with our plastics. So it suggests the Ultra Pure oil. I don't have any. I don't have any of that oil, so I'm not going to use it. You know what? Actually, at the top of my head, I don't know if I have any valve oil on me at the moment, which is dumb. Let me think. I'm gonna have to run into my other trumpet case and hope and pray, because if I don't, that's gonna be a pretty... I mean, this is an unboxing, it's not a review. I'm gonna make a proper video of this one later, so don't you know, hate me too much for that, but this is not the main video I'll be making of this. I'm gonna my main video, I'm gonna be taking this trumpet. This trumpet. I'm gonna compare it to that one because they're about the same price, right? So you got a metal horn that's about the same price as this one. Oh yeah, and these were also in there. I kind of went over it. It comes with 3 different springs too for the valves. So what happens there is I believe there is different like strengths of valve springs. I don't know if these are like the harder ones or the like looser ones, but one of them is going to have a little bit different action. So I can maybe try those out too. I don't know if I'll do that today or not. We'll see how long this thing ends up being. But that is all of that stuff. So yeah, okay. So we are finally done with the side pocket. Zipper work good? Yeah, it's fine. They were all on the rails. That's a good start too. Oh, sorry, wait. I can't, there. There we go. I did it. All right. And now it's in the way. I don't really like it when yeah, okay. All right. All right. And we have a wrap. All right. Ah, sweet. Okay. So it's funny. I'm gonna have to show you guys the picture on the. I'll have to show you guys the picture. So this is what we're looking at, right? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna take her out. Contrabass Chris, you got me, man. That is it, man. I'm gonna try my best not to. It's funny. So to the people to that comment, he's talking about the flute cork grease. It's funny. Every time I make one of these videos, I mess something up. Almost without fail, I have messed something up in a video as far as like talking about the instruments. So I dropped these things. I don't know why I picked those back up. So I think the most egregious one I've made as far as mistakes go is the flute. I put cork grease on the actual head joint to put it on. The only reason I did that is because they put it in the flute case. So I just assumed that you use like a grease to get it on there. And I even asked my wife, I'm going to throw her under the bus a little bit because she played flute in high school. And she didn't use like a cork grease, but she used some kind of like a synthetic something to put it on there. So I just assumed like, well, whatever, they just threw the cork grease in there, I'll just use it. That is something that I probably should have known, or excuse me, that is something I should have known as a band director. So I'm glad I made the video and did it wrong so that, 30 people on the comment section could be like, dude, what are you doing? So that I could figure it out. So yeah, don't learn from my mistake. Don't put cork grease on your flute. You don't need it. You know what cork grease is good for? Corks. So sorry, I'm gonna have to be pounding Diet Sam's every once in a while. It's a long day when you got 3 kids, All right, Tromba, it says. Sorry. Tromba. Now, what it does not say Tromba Pro. I don't know if that's like something that it would say, but I think, if I remember correctly, my trombone says Tromba Pro. What the heck is that? So we'll see. I'm hoping I got whatever they're. Keep hitting that. Whatever their top trombone plastic model is, I'm hoping that this is it. Either way, it's pretty cool looking. So I'm digging the gold. The black does not look as pretty to me. But I'm gonna wait on that anyways. Let me lose this thing so we can actually see what's going on. So let's start with this. This was in the bell as I pulled it out. Pretty sure it's a stand. If it's a mute, that'd be kind of cool too, but I don't think it is. It's weird looking though. It's like spidering. Oh, it's also like shedding all over my thing. Every time I make one of these videos too, my room becomes a disaster. I always start with it clean, and then as I make the videos, I just like chuck all the garbage all over the place, and then I never clean it because it's always like midnight when I'm done. So there we go. All right, so what in the world am I looking at? No. No. That's not going to be a stand that way. Is this a... What in the world? Is this another thing that, like, as a band director, I'm going to feel really embarrassed for not knowing? No. What is this? What is this? Man, I'm going to, like... How? Why do I need to keep asking? Okay, wait. All right, we're clicking out here. Now what? No. No. Does this connect to it? There's probably instructions. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe. Why would that do anything? All right. There was instructions. I'm gonna look them up. I was doing the typical, you know, thing of not looking at the instructions. Oh, sorry. And also might as well open the rest of it too. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited to look at the horn, you know? Yeah, it does look like a space saucer. Like, what the heck is that? All right. So we've got a, like a little cloth too. There's always a cloth every time. No white gloves though. Actually, if anything, the no white gloves, I think is, like, it kind of shows like, maybe they actually know what they're doing a little bit because they didn't put white gloves in there. You don't need white gloves with an instrument. You just don't. All right, there is instructions here for the UFO. All right, for trumpet cornet stand. All right, it is a stand. Let's we're gonna do this together, folks. So we're looking at this. All right, I have to unclip those. I did that. We have to take the top off and put it on the other side. I could do that. This goes on the opposite end. How the world would I have known that? All right. So, I'm going to turn my volume. I can hear myself through my headphones. Sound great. All right, this is spinning. I'm going to happily do this. When I did the trombone case, when I did it, the trombone stand, when I put that together, I broke it. So that's another a fun little feature of the trombone video. You can see me break their stand because I didn't put it in all the way. There was no instructions for that, but you know, don't make the same mistake I did. Push the little piece at the end down further. I'll show you that in a second. But hey, that's pretty good. That's a nice stand. That's awesome. That's gonna look great sitting back there or at the front of my podium. Like my first trumpet, I actually did buy this trumpet so that I can use it at school. Obviously, I have the other trumpet. I was going to be using the metal trumpet, but I've got a fifth grader starting this next year who doesn't have an instrument, and I ran out of school instruments, and my other trumpet broke, so it is like out of commission, totally dead, cannot be fixed anymore. So that's why I bought the other trumpet, but now that my student needs to have a horn, I am going to give them the metal one as long as this one works okay, and then I'm going to use the plastic one. So that's what's going to happen with that. That's my justification for buying this. I always have some kind of a justification, but that's this one. I needed it for a student. So let's finally lose the last piece here of the puzzle, and we'll see what we're looking at. Okay, the stand works good. Man, this thing is light. I'm never going to get used to these plastic instruments weights. I just won't. It's nuts, right? So first push. Let's see if it comes up. Ooh. Yeah, good start. I haven't oiled it yet. Now, the thing is, some of you may be thinking, plastic trumpets, you don't need to oil them. You would be right, except this one has a special feature in that these... Oh, man. If I could, there we go, have metal valve casings. So you actually do need to oil it, which is pretty cool. And it's one of the features that makes this instrument a little bit fancier and nicer than most other plastic horns. I think there is some other plastic horns that do have metal casings, but this is one of the few that do for sure. Obviously, whoops. Hey, another thing I mess up on when I did my trumpet video, is that when you are pushing in and pulling out the slides, you should push the valve that has to do with that because it makes the air pressure work better to actually be moving it. So I didn't do that the first time I did my third valve. So there you go. Same thing with the first. If you're gonna move the first, do that. The valves so far are coming in and out pretty good. But like I was saying before, this guy's sticking quite a bit. This one is not in correctly. That's my fault because I didn't do it right. Okay. As long as I can get them to work once we get going here. And then again, if this doesn't have a good enough action, I can try the other springs if I need to. But you know, so far we're doing some things. Let's go here to, what should I be looking at? I don't want to have to go, well, I'm gonna have to go get valve oil, guys. So you're gonna, whoops. Well, here, I'll show you these first. So I'll pull out the valves. This is what the third valve looked like. That is not metal. That's plastic all the way through. It came out fairly simple. Did I say third valve slide? That's the tuning slide. Excuse me. I spoke wrong. Kind of hard to get where I need it to go, though. I'm going to put it in my typical position. First valve comes out like so. Looks pretty good. Sorry, I have to like cover my eyeball or it won't focus. There we go. Ta-da! That's why I always kick it over to the other camera. There we go. And then the little guy also comes out. You're also looking at a tiny little piece of plastic. And that is that. And let's do the third valve before we are done. Also plastic all the way through. That is what we're looking at. It's kind of interesting. The actually like valve key is connected to the slide, which is kind of a unique thing. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. The position cannot be changed on the third valve. So you know how you usually have like a little key here to like move it in or out? You can't do that on this one. So with my middle finger, I usually use my middle finger when it comes to the third valve slide. A lot of people use a ring finger. Both are fine. I use my middle finger because I have fat fingers. There's like, I don't know if there's ever been a video on this channel I haven't mentioned my fingers being fat. Instruments, man. So yeah, I could do this too. This also feels fine. It's just a little bit more awkward. I also feel like I have a little bit more power with my third or middle finger, excuse me. So I did not used to do that for a long time. And then someone brought up like, hey, you can do this. I've done it that way ever since. I really like it that way. So there you have it. All right. So I hate to do this, but y'all can talk amongst yourselves for a second. I am going to find valve oil. I'm going to kick it to this screen and then I will be right back in like 2 seconds. Okay, so that actually would have been a good opportunity for me to, I could have took you to my little instrument corner, but I didn't. So here's my Mendini case, which I'm hoping had some valve oil in it still. It does. So I'm using my, my Cecilia oil. Oops. Well, we also caught that on tape. Man, now, if there's something that wrong with this instrument, it's probably because I just dropped it on the ground. Great stuff. All right. So something to know about these plastic horns, actually, now that I did do that, I get to watch my own replay here for that. That's great. Yep, there it goes. All right, lovely. So, gotta love that leg. Something to know about these plastic horns, now that I just threw it on the ground. They can usually hold up to a little bit more like beating than a brass one, right? Let's pretend for a second like I just dropped it on cement instead of carpet. That could have dented a metal horn, right? Plastic, on the other hand, is not going to dent. You need to hit like a certain threshold to where you just like break the plastic and then you're just kind of done, right? So it's like a trade-off. So let's take a valve out here. I need to show you guys the valve system because it's kind of unique. So looking here, this does not spin around like you'd normally think. There's like a little clasp, and then you go boop, like that, and then it pulls straight up. So you don't have to spin the whole thing around. It's just like this one tiny itty bitty little turn. Sorry if that's hard to see. That's it. That's all it takes to pull the valve up, right? So same with this one, like a little turn, and then comes up. So that's kind of unique. They brag about it on their website, so I'm hoping it's a good thing and not just like a cheapy thing. I think it's cool. It's fine as long as it works, and it seems to work fine. So I'm gonna oil it quick. Let me see what we're working at as far as the actual valve is concerned. I'm actually not gonna oil it yet for a second because I want to look at the spring difference. So I remember somebody saying, so this is the spring that, I gotta switch to the other one again. This is the spring that came with, like it was in the trumpet. This is the one that is not. So if you're looking at it, the one that came in it is like spread out further, which would make me believe that it is like has a little more strength maybe because like it's further apart, so it'll be stronger to like push up. I don't know. If it doesn't work great, I'm just gonna switch them and we'll try both. But that's that. That came in and out easy enough. Put that back in like so. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what I see if I screwed something up. No, I didn't. Yeah, we're good. I would never screw something up. I'm a trumpet master. Okay, so putting that back together. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. Not gonna tempt fate yet. And actually, if the valves do end up working, I'm not gonna try the other ones just because it's just not worth it. If they work, they work. Let me oil them quick. This is also one of those parts that in a regular video I would just speed up. This would be a good point to ask me questions if you have any in chat. I'll try to hit you up, read it. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat super much. I can't talk and read at the same time. If you watch my first ever like real video where I'm actually talking to a camera, it's about a drum set thing. And my whole posit in that video is that multitasking is a myth. You cannot multitask. It is not possible. So when people talk about like, let's for example say drum hand independence, when they say like, okay, do your thing with your right hand. Good, you learned that. Now do this thing with your left hand. Good, you learned that. Now put them both together. That's not a thing, okay? So don't learn drum set like that or like, you know, whatever instrument you're trying to learn. Do the things you're trying to learn at the same time. So like if I'm trying to learn this drum beat, take one beat, learn all of the hand things you would need to learn for that one beat. Do them at the same time because that is how you will actually get your body to figure out what it's doing and it'll make your life a lot easier. You can do the same thing with piano. Don't learn one hand and then learn another hand and then try to put them together. Like eventually you'll learn this stuff, but you're just adding way more time than you need to. It is better to learn both hands at the same time. Just take it super slow, take tiny little chunks. There you go. All right, so I oiled them. And first valve still sticky. Still sticky. Sadly, that is the one that I changed. Or didn't change, but I took the spring out. Okay, so yeah, it's slow. It's slow coming up. Let's see what I can do here. I did not really move it around. Maybe I'll just kind of squeegee here a little. Get it in the right spot. It does seem to click into spot nice, which is good. It's a little better. It's a little better. Again, I'll do a like comparison video specifically against like a metal horn. Whoa, what happened there? Of course I heard. Whoa! Man, I'm gonna have to like watch the video. Okay, let me see what happened. Something, okay, I put it on the thing and then this thing flew off. How did that happen? Now that it's got dog hair on it. We have two corgis. Man, corgis shed a lot if you didn't know. Okay, all right, I'm watching here. Okay, it just fell right off. I'm gonna have to get some grease to put on that third valve because it's a little bit too loose. It shouldn't just fall out like that. See? We're learning together, right? Who's the favorite child? I'm not going to answer that question. Okay. Now, when I get my Mendini horn, I haven't oiled this in, like since the video, basically. I have not oiled this, but the valves are a lot stronger on this thing than they are on this thing. Maybe it'll get better over time. I don't know. But so far, valves are not as good. You know what? For science, we're going to change the spring out quick. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get this part off. Maybe. Oh, I'm getting the whole top off. Don't do that. Get on there. Come on. Oh, you know what? I wonder if these are any different either. I don't think so. They look the same. Which is kind of weird because it's like, do they expect them to break? I mean, I guess it's good to have a backup in case, but it's not like any other trumpet brand's going to give you extra of that. Okay, this is the other one. I need to keep these separate. I'm going to lose them. That wouldn't be good. Or I'm not going to lose them, but I'm going to mess up which is which. All right, so that's the different one. Let's see if this is better. It'd be sweet if this like automatically fixed it. Oh man, that's way better. All right, we're switching all of them. Goodbye, other springs. So was there anyone in the comment that was like, yo, those other springs are going to work better because you were right. John Kavanaugh, the alternate spring is going to be stiffer. Attaboy, you were totally right. Good call. I should have read your comment sooner. Again, can't multitask. I have to like slinky this thing out. It's like, it's twisted on there. Give me a second. There we go. Hey. All right, let's bring it on there. Yeah, the alternate spring's way better. To the point, like, I feel like those should have been the default. Definitely should have been the default. And then the alternate one should have been the alternate. But whatever. It's not Mendy. Tromba, if you're watching this, now you know. Now you know that you need to flip them. All right. Let's give this a shot. They sound a lot different. They're coming up fine. Well, no, they're not. Oh, sorry. It's because I had my... All right, don't put your thumb on the bottom of that because then you're losing all the air pressure to push it up. That's a weird thing to know, right? But yeah, that's a thing because I could feel the difference there. Let me put the oil on this before I ended up dropping it. This, if I do it to that, that's not a thing, right? It just doesn't. Oh well. They're gonna have quirks. It's gonna have quirks because it's a bunch of plastic. In case you didn't know, this is also plastic. It's not like, part metal, part whatever. I will say, if you're gonna get through this instrument, I think the like fake brass looks a lot prettier than the black. I don't know how well that's going through the video. Maybe on this one it'll look a little bit better, but like that looks plastic, very plastic. The black, that looks pretty slick. That fake whatever. Yeah, in case you guys weren't, this was $69. I should put like a thing on it, but yeah. Let me go back to the. Let me go back. Whoop, not that one. That one. Let me go back to that Amazon listing quick. So my when I ordered it, my trumpet looked like this blue one, except it was gold. So like it's weird because this black here, all of this black was not actually black when I ordered it. It was gold in the picture. So you just never know what you're gonna get with Amazon, man. Here, even maybe I can pull my other order history. Oh, I can't do that because it has my address on it. Okay, that's all right. So, but they don't have my color anymore. Just take my word for it. It was this gold, and then it had the black valves, which would have been like even prettier because it would have had less of the black. Just a little like black valve would have been fine. Now looking at it, so like going back to Aubrey's comment earlier, the blue one I think would have looked pretty slick, especially if it was blue all the way through and just the black. But what can you do? What I will say, the cheapest one is actually this $59 one. Mine was $69, but this looks like a child's toy. I don't know if this is like not the Tromba Pro. It does have a different thing here, TRP-YE versus the like this says plastic trumpet middle blue, and then this one says TP1SL. I don't know what I don't know what their branding is. I have no idea. This one might look okay. I kind of like the two-tone personally. Okay, let's stop talking about color differences and let's get to playing. I'm even excited to just hear this thing. I can't imagine you guys are probably super. So I'm gonna start with the plastic, right? So I'm gonna start with the 7C because that's the one I picked up first. It does on their website say specifically that the lead pipe is made to fit like brass mouthpieces, so you can use a brass mouthpiece. I will. I'm gonna get the other one out so we can try that too. But we're gonna test it out here. So here's some first notes. I gotta switch mics here for a second so I don't blow out the speaker. So when I start playing this thing, let me know how it sounds. Okay. So if I need to adjust some mic things, I will do that. But here we go. All right. The third valve's not in the right spot, or one of them's not. Yeah, okay, I gotta change it. Just a second. Hey, okay. Can't do it today. At least not warmed up yet. All right, switching back. Not bad so far. It feels a little different. So like when I play the trombone, the plastic trombone, the volume turns up to 11. So the close-up camera. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. I'll have to do that. I'll have to check that out when we get to the other camera. When I play the trombone that's plastic, I can feel like a little difference between like a metal trombone, but the tone is pretty close. So far, thank you for Beautiful Sam for getting that, for giving me some mic input. So far the trumpet doesn't feel the same. It feels a little different. I'll just play it again here quick. Sorry, I muted that. I muted the Yeti on that one. That's my bad. I'll play those low ends again. You guys saw some great audio of me, or video of me not playing anything. Here it is. Okay. All right. So, John, that's good. That's good. That's a good dig. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of your test on this one, right? I could pull up like some actual music. And I'll play something maybe before we're actually done. But that is kind of what we're looking at as far as this trumpet's concerned. Now, the springs for these spit keys here work good. I'm gonna have to test if I got some spit in there. I don't think I have anything spitting in there just yet. Now to Brian's point, I don't know how the mics necessarily sound compares to the actual sound I'm hearing. I did a lot of testing to try to get the mic set up as good as I could for this. That's why I'm actually using this for the trumpet usually. I can play it here, which I think actually sounds a little bit better, but I think it sounds better because it's not as correct. I think it masks some of my weak playing. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, there's somebody down there at the bottom says, oh wait, I think it sounded better when you're not pointed at the mic. I'm now using this mic up top, which is not set up for trumpeting. It is set up for talking. So the mic. I think the mic makes it sound a little bit better than it actually is, maybe on that one. Here's the other one in comparison. So here's a mic check for you. Here's just a low C. So that's the difference you're looking at. I couldn't, I obviously can't hear it. Here, actually, give me a sec. I can hit this quick. I'm listening to my own YouTube video here. Sounds pretty good from the up top mic. How are we looking from the side mic? Yeah, okay, so the side mic, side sounds a little hot, actually, is what I'm kind of getting from it. I'll just turn it down a little bit, and we'll maybe try that one more time. So I could play, so here. This is a both mic test. You can hear both mics, so it sounds weird. All right, here's the Yeti again. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's it's just different. It's a different feel. I maybe just play from the top now, so I don't have to keep switching back and forth. Because I think that's going fine actually. I'll play with one mic. But sound quality wise, here's my thoughts. First impressions here. You can, like, I think you could get away with using this as a practice instrument for sure. I also think that you could probably play this in like as a young student, but the thing I've noticed so far is that the valves, if you are not like the valves are just not working as good as they should be. I'm hoping that that's something that's gonna be fixing itself over time. So like maybe the kind of like that Tromba, the actual like needs to wear the plastic away before it gets really good. So it takes a little while to break it in. I think that might be the case here because as I'm playing, I have to make sure that I'm like pushing it down all the way before I start playing it. It just feels different because it's not the action is not as good. I can't lie and be like the action's close. Like it's just the action's not as good. But it could be something that fixes itself over time. I don't know. I'm going to give this thing at least probably a couple days before I do the actual video. I'll play it in and see if it gets a little bit better over time. But that's the case so far. So I'm gonna give you guys we're gonna do an audio test here of this guy versus the metal one. Okay, so this is like a little teaser for the video I'm gonna be making. So this, if you didn't know, if you didn't watch that video, shame on you, go watch that video. This is like a $60-something brass trumpet. Mendini by Cecilio is the brand. It's like one of the most popular cheapo instrument brands on Amazon. And I think it actually works great for like, I mean, what it is, right? I can't even say for what it is. Like, it works great. I had a Yamaha before, and it was like so old and beat up, and I sent it to get the repairs done so many times that it just didn't work as good as a bunch of, like, it didn't work as good as this one. This one works better than that. I can't say, like, it's held up. Like, I've had this thing for, I don't know when I made that video. It was months ago. And this thing plays great still, right? We'll see how it pulls up to like a full year of school coming up because I haven't used it through a full year of school yet. I've used it for a couple months of school. It worked great. I'm also going to be checking this one out to a student, which will really be a test to see how good it is. But real fast here, let's see what we're looking at as far as the audio quality is concerned between the brass and the plastic. So this is the brass. Switch over. There we go. Keep muting it on the thing. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I am going to wake my kids up. I'm going to hopefully not do that, but shame on me for always doing these videos so late. All right, that was that. Now let's go back to this one quick. We'll give you the side-by-side. All right. Oh man, do I not have something in right? Give me a sec. Really hoping that I don't really know what my expectations were going into this, but compared to the trombone, not as good. Not yet. No, not yet. Here. Yeah, I mean, I can not only play higher, I can play better. I can play better coming out of that one. So that's so far to give you guys the cheat sheet to my next video. This one is probably where your money should go, but I'll be putting it through some more proper tests than that. So don't don't write it off just yet. But all right. So last thing here, not last thing, but next. Yeah, there's a lot heavier than this. Another thing I got to do here that I haven't done yet is I got to try the brass mouthpiece on the plastic horn. It's almost the first thing somebody will say when they're talking about using a plastic instrument is that you should use a brass mouthpiece. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if that made a very large difference in sound quality. And you know what? To keep it even more interesting, I'm going to do the opposite as well. We're going to put the plastic mouthpiece in the brass. So we'll go Frankenstein on this, and we'll see what happens here. So this is the Tromba with the Mendini mouthpiece. Well, actually, this is my mouthpiece from school. So this is my 3C. There we go. All right, let me switch over again. All right, brass. Okay, let me actually play some like scales. Doesn't catch the parcels as good. It doesn't catch. Just doesn't catch. It makes it a little bit harder to play than it should. It's almost like I feel like something must be off, and it's just nothing. There's nothing off. That's better. That's a really weak sound in the what is that? C? No, it's a G. I want to test these valves one more time. We're going to see if I got them in totally right. Oh, what did I do there? Give me a sec. Weird. What happened? Okay. Now, something to remember too. I'm not gonna totally let myself off the hook here. I did drop it. Oh lordy. All right. Yeah, I'll have to show that too. Here, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all in. Okay, I turned this one a little, and the sound changes. Yeah, it could be me. All right, I'll just put it back in. Yeah, so I mean, that's what we're looking at. I'm still going to... Okay, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Yeah, I can't even get the low notes out here. Why? Why? That's not gonna be that's not a them, that's a me. I mean, it's gotta be. Okay, we'll try again. You know what? It sounds a lot better. It does. I think I've got finally some spit to empty out here. The third valve is still kind of sticking. Something to look at here, which is kind of interesting. All right. So looking at the third valve here for a second, I can push it up and it kind of falls down. See that? That's not really great. Again, I dropped it. So, it's so frustrating. So here's what we're gonna do. I'll trade the valve out, or the key, because I have extras. They give you extras, I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna test them out. Keeping the spring in though, those springs did work a lot better. So here is another one. If I can get her tightened. Tighten. Tighten. Okay. Why is that so far out? That can't be right either. Yeah, it's not. All right. We're getting it, folks. We're going to figure it out. Now, the notes that I did get to play on the brass mouthpiece sounded a lot better to me than the non-brass. Eliasgar, do you give away the trumpet? That would be awesome if I was like, you know, one of those big famous YouTubers who could do that. But I actually need these for my students. That's probably something unique about me compares to some other, you know, YouTubers out there. I am no Mr. Beast. I am a public school teacher, and this trumpet was specifically purchased so that I had something I could play. Nice start. I had something that I could play while my students used my other trumpet, because I'm checking my trumpet out to a student. And when I say my trumpet, I mean like the trumpet I personally own. I do not mean a you know, school-owned instrument. Like I will be giving them mine. So because of that, I'm gonna have to keep this guy. Whether it works or not, it's kind of funny. It took so long to make this video. Pretty sure I'm past the return date on it. So I'm going to be using this trumpet whether or not I like it or not, probably. Now that's not good. Now it won't even come up. Now it won't even come up. A period. Now it's totally stuck. So what we're going to have to do is, you know, take 3. And I'll try another one. It came with 3 extras. So I'm going to try another one, and if that doesn't work, I've got one more shot at her to see if it all works. So this is kind of the deal when you get these cheap instruments, right? You're not, like, you gotta kind of be at a good enough quality of player to know how to fix these issues. That's going to be pretty unique compared to like your Yamahas and your Jupiters and Selmers. You know, you buy a new one of those and they should be good to go out of the box. This, I mean, obviously this is a plastic trumpet. You're looking at a different class of instrument anyways, but you need to be able to fix some issues potentially with these cheap instruments. And that's kind of just, you know, just what you get. The quality control is not always going to be there out of the factory. Like the flute. Flute was the best example of it. The flute I got, the B natural was, that thumb was way too screwed in to the point that I could not play a B natural, period. So I had to adjust it. And once I adjusted it, it was good to go. So that's something to know. This one will not tighten on. There we go. Oh no, it happened again. That's 2 out of 3. Did I? Oh man, really hoping I didn't screw this thing up. You wouldn't have thought that I did. I wouldn't have thought. And I can't get it to come back up. I might have to not do that video, huh? Or I'm gonna have to do some real workshopping here. It doesn't look like I did anything to it, and like unlike brass, you know, I didn't dent it, so it shouldn't be sticking because of a dent, you know, probably. So we're gonna keep kind of putzing around here for a minute. Let's see. Yeah, it was incorrectly. I tried both. There's two, to contrabase Chris's suggestion, I tried, there's two like pausing points for the valve that lock in place. I tried both. Man, it's hard to get there. Yeah, it's still stuck, super stuck. All right, got one more to try. At this point, I'm starting to think it's not this little piece I'm doing it. I'm thinking it is going to be something else. Is my issue. So we'll see. Peanuts, where did I learn? I went to South Dakota State University for my undergraduate for music ed. And then I went to the University of Oklahoma for my master's in percussion performance. So if you wanted to know how to hit one of these against a drum really good, I'm your man. Oh, we got it on the third. So that was the last valve, the last one in the case that I had to try. It's working, so we're gonna not break that one. There's a reason why this thing came with 3 extras of this apparently, because they were not working. Now, what I think we could do, if I let's this little piece here. I'm thinking the problem might have been that. Sorry, cover my eye up. I think the problem might have been, it might have been like a little bent, just a touch. So I think because it's plastic, I could like just bend it back just a little bit to get it kind of to sit. Looking at these 3 in here, I need to tighten this on a little bit further. The key at the top. I don't want to mess with it too much because I'm kind of scared to do anything to it. All right. Because it was like 8 hours ago that I did the brass, I'm going to play this one with the brass mouthpiece one more time. My first play was better, okay? Like the brass mouthpiece was a ton better. It just felt better. It sounded better. I mean, it was better. Hopefully I'm in all the right spots. I should be. Let me unmute my Yeti microphone. All right. Test. There we go. No, now on both. There. All right. God dang it. I did the wrong one again. All right. It still works. Yeah, right now the G. The G, more than any other note, seems like it's airy almost. Like, I don't know why that would be. It just sounds like I'm getting it there. So, yeah. Yeah, it almost sounds like when you're playing in a band and somebody leaves the snare drum on and you get like that buzz out of the drum on certain pitches. That's what it like sounds like as I'm playing that G. Doesn't give me it as much in the other instruments. I do still feel it. Let's go to my brass now. So this is my Mendini trumpet with the plastic mouthpiece, just for fairness sake. And we'll see what this feels like. Man, this key doesn't want to stay in place. All right, switch back over. Test, test. All right. Here, we're gonna do a Spitfire round here. This is the plastic trumpet. Yeah, I mean that's the deal, right? The brass mouthpiece is a 3C. The brand is I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I bought it on Amazon. It was like $8, and it was about 15 years ago or something. I bought it. Maybe not 15 years ago, but it was a long time ago. I bought it when I was like in high school, I think. Yeah, and I mean it's here. I'll show you. It's not good, but it is fine for me. Again, I'm not a trumpet player. I play in band with my kids. I do okay, but that's what we're working with. I would love. I mean, someday I'm gonna pull up to like a box Strat with like a nice, Yamaha mouthpiece or something, and I'm gonna like. I don't know why that's my Yamaha, like my mouthpiece pull, but I'm gonna, a Shelkey or whatever those are, and I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna probably, feel all I've been missing all these years. But right now, like this, $60 whatever metal trumpet with the, $8 metal mouthpiece is fine. It's fine for me. I can play all the things that I need to play. I can play higher than most people I know. Not consistently or well, but good enough to pop out my pep band tunes. So there you go. Yeah, and I am using a 3C. I've used it for all my life. There was, I did some research back in high school for that too, where I was like, what mouthpiece should I use, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, the lower the number, the warmer the sound is going to be on the low end. And I was playing like trumpet 4 in my second jazz band in high school because I played drum set in the first one. And I just wanted to play something in the second. So I like tried to learn trumpet. And I couldn't even play notes at the time, but I just wrote in all the fingerings and then like played things. That's the only reason I even had a trumpet in high school. But yeah, it was not good, folks. I'm not pretending to be a good trumpet player, but I'm good enough to, test these things out, I think, and figure out what they're looking at for students. So that's kind of the deal. So far, I am whelmed with the Tromba. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not necessarily underwhelmed with it. I'm whelmed. I feel like I'm going to need to do some more testing to see if I can get it a little bit less fuzzy, like a little less airy. Yeah, but that's kind of what we're looking at as far as that's concerned. You got numbers on the sides. You got I didn't ever really tune it, but yeah, I will give a proper video here eventually to see how it fares. I'll say I mean, I'll say this, right? Like you're probably watching this and you're, you know, like here. I'll give you know, a little opportunity. So this is the plastic trombone, right? I have already played this for like months of high school and, you know, younger playing. I play with my band sometimes. This thing works great, like for what I need it to. I've been really impressed with the Tromba trombone. So I figured when the trumpet came, you know, like maybe the valves would be a little, you know, less good, and they're a little less good. But I figured it'd be serviceable. It's yet to see. I will be using it this year regardless. As I said, I don't think I can return it. I think I'm past the window anyways. Not that I would, because I mean, for $60, I think you're still getting a pretty dang good deal. Like, I've spent more money on like toys, you know? And this thing, like, it's an instrument. Like, I could play it. I could play some things. Like, I should pull up like some chart and try to like run through it quick. But here's the trombone quick, just to give you an idea. If you haven't seen that video, first of all, watch that video. It's good. But here's the trombone. Good, I'm not gonna hit anything. I can't get my pedal today. Nope, not gonna embarrass myself anymore. But to me, that sounds pretty good. Like, that's like, even like without a brass trombone next to it to compare it to, that sounds pretty good to me. Now, I will also say that was with the plastic mouthpiece that came with it. I didn't even use the brass mouthpiece. The brass mouthpiece makes the trombone sound even better. I don't have that same like confidence of sound quality in this guy. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna have to keep playing around with it. I'm gonna do some like actual tests and get some recording side by sides. We'll do another blind test. So like we'll do an audio to audio and see if you guys can tell the difference. I like making those. They're just fun. I'm gonna see if I can pull up like a piece of sheet music here. What's a good song? Yeah. Somebody give me a suggestion of a good song to play that's not, you know, like hard. Let's see. Oh, When the Saints. I don't know if I can even play that. Let's see. That's a YouTube. That's a MuseScore. I don't know. Let's see. All right, this is with the plastic again. Oh, duh, I'm on my Mendini. I was like, man, it feels like colder than usual. Amateur hour. All right, back to the, you know what? I'm not even gonna use the plastic mouthpiece. It's not as good. If you're gonna get this trumpet, get a brass mouthpiece. I'll give you that one. Yeah, Flight of the Bumblebee. Yeah, good Roblox Spectrum. I'll get right on that. Let me yeah, that'll happen. There we go. All right, well, there's go in the Saints. Flight of the Bumblebee's not gonna happen. Careless Whisper. It's, you know, if I had a saxophone, I'd whip that out for you right now. It'd be great. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. I've got a great saxophone video coming up, guys. It's not here yet. It's got like a month of shipping, but it should be here in the next like 2-3 weeks maybe. Oh man, I'm so excited for that video. I will not give you any more information than that though, because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. Jazz. You see, I wanted to find like a jazz tune I could play, and I'm having an absolute blank on what a good jazz chart would be. Da, 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 da. Moaning, trumpet, sheet music. Granted, that could be a little bit too hard. Yeah, but I want the melody. That's the problem. That's not a trumpet part. Yeah, that's not gonna happen either. I don't know. Birdland. Birdland Rain says. Let's see what that looks like. Ba, 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 ba. Let's pop the. Oh, of course, turn my audio off. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Fine. You know what? I will play Careless Whisper for saxophone when I get it. I'm gonna type Careless Whisper trumpet, and Google's gonna be like, dude, that's not a trumpet song. What are you talking about? I've never. Okay, this is gonna be like silly. Let's see what this let's see. All right, instrument in B flat. This is gonna be dumb, so I apologize. I also can't read. It's too tiny. See, I'm already jumping octaves and stuff. Yeah, Ryan, I've played saxophone. I'm actually pretty good at sax. The third valve came out again. Man. Make sure you throw some slide grease on this thing so that it's not so loose. This thing keeps falling off. Yeah, I am fairly good at the saxophone. If you guys really care enough to like chill around, I can pull my saxophone together really fast and play the first saxophone of the channel. But yeah, I can play just about anything, literally. That's one of the great things about my first, like, I actually taught middle school band solely for 6 years before I moved to 512. So during those 6 years, I was obviously a pretty good. I'm a good percussion player. I could sort of play trumpet, and that's about it. That's where my, like, allegiances lied as I started my middle school career. Those first 6 years, every time I taught a new student how to play, because we had 6th grade beginner band as well, I would play with them. And a lot of the times they were like better than me, like on flute or clarinet or something. But I'd play like through every single exercise on the book with the students so that I could not only teach them, but teach myself. I think I mean, I can't tell you how helpful it is to be a band director who can play the instruments with the kids. And I'm not pretending to be good at it. Like, I'm not going to pretend that, like, I could be good at the trumpet. I played it in city band before. It's fine. I played baritone in city band for a long time. It's fun. I mean, I don't usually play percussion and stuff like that because it's boring. The percussion parts, like, I could walk up to a city band percussion part and just sight read it at the performance. It's not fun necessarily. But, like, playing an instrument that's kind of challenging and, you know, like, that's fun. So I like to, yeah, I'm getting some get the saxophone comments out. Yes, get the saxophone. Yeah, so Nintonic and Jason. Okay, so here, I'll do this. I said I was going to, so I might as well. Let me flip back to my other camera here for a second, and I will throw the audio there as well. This is going to be, whoop, wrong one. This is going to be a little bit weird, so bear with me. As I get my audio. You guys tell me how well, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be the audio from now. I'm going to get my other test. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this camera for a tour. All right. A little bit at least. I'm like connected here, so I can only do so much. But this closet right there, that has got all of my instruments in it, and it is a lot. And like, I will have to give a tour eventually someday to show you guys all of the instruments that I have. Really quick, just because I've kind of wanted to talk about this one. This guy here, this little mallet instrument over here, that's gonna like be part of a video to itself. That's a very rare instrument. I'll let you guys guess to see if you could figure out what it is. It is not like a bell set or glockenspiel or vibraphone. It's pretty unique actually. So good luck with that. I didn't know what it was until we got it. So I got it at an auction actually. But yeah, I'm gonna go grab my sax. I will do it like this. Let me adjust here quick. I don't know. There we go. We're turned. All right. Sorry, you're probably not gonna be able to hear me very well. Let me get this guy out. All right, this is my broken trumpet. Ouch, that's my foot. This is my little piece of bagpipes over here, which don't really work anymore. And, all right, saxophone. So I'll have to fix this camera eventually here quick, but here's my saxophone. I might have to find my reeds. I don't remember where I put my reeds either. So of all my instruments, this is actually one of my nicer ones. I have like so many cheap instruments, other than like, to be honest, even my most expensive instrument, which is my 5-octave marimba, it is about one of the cheapest 5-octave marimbas in the world because it does not have resonators because I couldn't afford them in grad school. So it is not a vibraphone. That's a good guess. I'd love to do cheapest marching percussion. That'd be fun. So this is my sax. It is a Jupiter, which is like a name brand. That's a good brand of instrument. Don't look at my band director jankiness here. I've got like masking tape on that to make it a little whatever because I hardly ever play it, but it works. Don't at me. It's not good technique. Don't do it if you're an actual sax player. I don't tell my students to do it. There you go. I'm just gonna get it going today. I haven't played this like all summer. Oh man, that probably sounds really bad on the mic, huh? Here. Running out of space. Man, that's tighter than it should be. That's not usually the case. There. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to do a little looking on this thing. It's been a while. Stop it, third valve. I just need to get this trumpet out of the way, I think, because I'm going to keep hitting it. The more I hit this thing, the more plausible deniability they'll have against me not sounding great on it. All right, mouthpiece. I got no reeds in here, I'm pretty sure, because I've got them on my case, my reed case. Quick saxophone thing. Sure, I'll talk about it in a video, but if you play saxophone, get a neck strap. Like first thing, get a neck strap that clasps on the saxophone. It's a lot safer that way. All right. This is not like you know, pro level alto. It is a Jupiter, which means it's like a nice brand, but it's not like they're top of the line or anything. I don't deserve an instrument like that anyways. Not a saxophone, at least. But again, I can play it. Third valve is the star of tonight's live stream. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, totally. All right, gotta find my reeds. Again, give me a sec. I can flat back over to the other KM. As I try to figure out which thing has my reeds. I want to say it's one of my clarinet cases, which is kind of embarrassing. That's a clarinet. Where's my good clarinet case? It shows you just how long it's been since I played a reeded instrument that I can't even think of where my case is. Hey! Alright, that's, I'm not going to throw that case. That's actually a good instrument. Stay. Alright, as I Ouija my way back here. Alright, case has my reeds in it, hopefully. Yes, sir. Got my Legere plastic reed. Don't have to wet it down. That's why I like it. The band director on the go. Ain't got time to wet down a reed. Just like percussion, I like to grab sticks and I like to hit things. I like to grab instruments and I like to play things. To be totally more obvious or honest, I just don't have time during the band period to do it. I am too in a hurry. All right, there we go. First note of saxophone for the Mad Music channel. I'm nervous to play. I'm not I don't know what I'd say if I'm better at the trumpet or the saxophone at this point. I've played a lot of saxophone because it's a little easier to just pull it out and go. Hopefully the mic doesn't explode here. Ah, that was a bad one. Here we go, man. Yeah. So there's my first careless whisper in front of anybody that wasn't just a student. Nice. It's been a long time, guys. Since about the beginning of the school year, or end of the school year, excuse me. Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble getting the air out. All right, that's it. Got any more requests? That's a saxophone. What do you think? Did I play it? Was it good enough? Whoa, McTonk. Thanks, man. That's super nice of you. Got my first, what is that, like a super comment or a, whatever they're called? That's awesome. Thanks, man. As you can, I should not set my instrument down like that. I can hear the comments now. All right. Yeah, man. Megalovania. Absolutely not. Rain. Not today, man. I have to do some practicing. Give me a, I should have had like my keyboard over here. I play on the keyboard for you. Do it on percussion easily. Play it on, I could probably play Megalovania on a drum tom more fast than I could do it on like a saxophone. I've got my reed case out here. I could throw it on the, for those of you who haven't seen it, here's Amazon's cheapest clarinet. This was also like if you're not sure, you know, what one of my cheap instruments costs, you could just kind of base it around. They're all about 60 bucks. For whatever reason, that's kind of like the low end, except for my flute. My flute was 50, which is legit because I think out of all my instruments, I think the flute actually my favorite purchase out of all the cheapos. So even more, like this was 60 bucks. I can only imagine this Jupiter new was probably like 500, 600. Like this thing just plays, you know, it just plays. The mouthpiece, like I said, is not the stock mouthpiece that came with it. Everything else is, and I haven't adjusted anything to it. I haven't done anything. It's been sitting on that stand since the video. And then you've got the flute. Cheapest instrument that I bought. Works great. The best sounding low C I've ever played on a flute was on this one. Just a good sound, man. You know, it's funny. It's funny that you say that, Ryan, about the cheap oboe. I've been searching, like, so here's like my walkthrough. I actually thought about I'm making a video of this eventually too, just because I think it's kind of funny my like process for finding these things. Oh, pause. It's titanium. Dang, dude. 20 bucks. That's legit. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Like that's, I mean, I was not expecting any, I was joking around with my wife on this before we got the stream started. And I was like, I will be surprised if there's more than just a couple people on this stream. That's what I told her. I was like, if I could get like 1 or 2 people and we could just have a conversation, that'd be legit. That'd be awesome. I'd be so happy with that. But yeah, yeah, like 20 some people here talking about just chatting about some instruments, man. I'm here for it. That's awesome. Great. So here, let me switch over quick. So what I'm doing is when I look for instruments, start incognito, I usually go to Amazon and type in their stupid code. Okay, you know, I don't usually have to do this. Wow, I'm having fat fingers today. So I will usually throw Amazon up, right? And I go to type in whatever instrument I'm looking for. So in this case, let's talk oboe. So just like looking right off the bat here, $300 seems to be the cheap oboe, like, you know, low right now. And I've been keeping my eye on it for a while, actually, as far as Amazon's concerned. Oboes, I mean, obviously they're just kind of a more expensive instrument anyways. I don't know what I'm going to do when it comes to like double reed purchases, because I've never once had to shop for it. I think I might have shopped for one set of oboe reeds back at my old job, because I had 2 kids that played oboe until one moved in like for 2 months, and the other one was like, I don't want to do it. My friend's not doing it, so she switched back to sax. So I have not had to do any double reed purchases or playing, because I didn't have enough oboes to play myself. So if I get an oboe, that'd be sweet, because that'll be an instrument I've not had currently. So now, like $300, right? That's $300 for an oboe right now is too rich. It is too rich for my blood. I mean, I have made a little bit of money from the YouTube thing. I think my happiest thing I could do is like when a instrument pays for itself with a video, like that flute video just paid for the flute, like just recently, just hit enough like views or ad hours or whatever to actually pay for the instrument. That's like a success for me, right? Because I enjoy making these videos. These videos are fun, but I don't really expect anything from it. So like if it'll pay for the instrument that I'm reviewing, that's great, because I'm buying these out of pocket, right? Thankfully I can play them. Like that flute, I'm gonna play that a lot this year, because it's way better than my other flute. I have 3 or 4 flutes. My parents go on like garage sale buying sprees, but they're all bad. I don't know what the deal is, but none of those flutes are any good. Same with clarinets. Like I have a bunch of clarinets. I only have one good one, 2 now, because that one that I bought off Amazon is actually great. So I'm gonna probably play that this year too. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for. So another instrument that I've been searching around for is a baritone. I want to say I once saw one for like just 300. So like this one right here is 380. That is also just, it's just too expensive right now for me. I'm not going to throw $380 for an instrument that I'm not going to be hardly playing it. I'm going to check it out to a student probably. So $380 is just kind of a lot to justify. And that video would have to be quite popular to have paid off $380, right? So that's just, it's not in the budget, right, for the public school teacher here yet, at least. So that's just not going to happen either. Alto saxophones, though, are a lot closer. So if you look here, $195. I will give a spoiler, I guess. The saxophone I have coming, I did not get from Amazon. I got it from Temu, and it was $136, I think. And the funny thing there is, well, I don't want to give it away. I'm not going to give it away. You have to stop in for that video. I'm really excited for it. I thought about doing a live stream for it, but I have like a whole idea in my head. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll do a live stream of that too. But I have like a whole idea of what I'm going to do for that video, because there's something special about it when it comes. So yeah, that's $136, which is stupidly cheap, like stupidly cheap. If it comes at all, I'm gonna be like super impressed. But there's a whole nother layer to why I'm really excited for that video that you'll have to see. So so that's what we're looking at for saxophones, right? You're looking at like 200 on the very low end. Most of them are more expensive. And actually, when you do see like this one's actually pretty good. There's some in here. When you're looking on Amazon for cheap instruments, not that you should be doing this weird cheap instrument spending spree that I do, because I'm kind of a weirdo. But when you're doing the bottom barrel cheapo shopping, you can find instruments like this, right? So like this is 150, sort of, and it's like, ooh, save 15 with coupon, but you gotta watch out because the shipping is usually ridiculous. I've never found one of these instruments to actually be the cheapest because they're not when you take the shipping into consideration. I think every single one of the instruments I've bought so far that was the cheapest has been like free Prime shipping. And I have Amazon Prime, had it forever, and I'm not like some big Amazon, devotee or whatever, because I'm just not, but that's usually where the cheap instruments are until Temu. I've never once gone to their webpage on desktop. Okay, I didn't even know if it had one, to be honest. But let's look here. So now you remember about 200, right, was the cheapest alto on Amazon. If you look on a Temu and you sort by price low to high, which is what I usually do, you gotta fuff through some stuff. But now you will see, and these are usually with free shipping, that's 150 bucks, right? So that's a 50 more bucks off. Like I said, mine was even cheaper. Let's see if that is free shipping. I'm pretty sure it is. Free shipping, yeah. But I actually got an even better deal that is not on here. So now Temu may become my Amazon, but the thing is, I'm a little more worried about Temu versus Amazon in that, like, I feel like Amazon is more reputable than Temu. The instruments are probably all the same. They're probably just whatever cheap, Chinese manufacturer put together a thing and like whatever. They're probably just selling them from different. But like, I don't know. Temu just seems like a little sketch to me. You can find fake counterfeit instruments on here, which I find really unique. So if I go to 300 bucks, because I found. Let's see, if I type in Yamaha alto sax, let's say I'm looking for an actual like good instrument, you can find a Yamaha instrument on here for like 300 bucks. And the kicker is they are not Yamaha instruments. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find one today, but I had in the past found some, they'll like say like reference or something like that, and they say the instrument like right on the side of the thing, it'll say like Yamaha and then some number, and you look up that number and it's like, I mean, they're good looking counterfeits, but if the saying is, if it's too good to be true, it is not probably a true, I guess, is, I don't know, there's a more succinct way to say that. But all right, shoot, I'm not finding it today. Maybe they got them all off there. But if you do find, an instrument on here that is like says to be like a Yamaha, whatever, a Jupiter, blah 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 blah, they don't sell them on Temu, those reputable brands, right? So just don't. And I'm not saying that the brands that are cheapo ones are not reputable, blah 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 blah. Like, I'll always cover my bases because I'm probably like the one band director in the world that's like, yeah, you can play a Mendini trumpet in my band, whatever. I'm like, great, do it, because then you're in my band. That's all I care about, be in band, dang it. But yeah, I mean, there's something to be said of a counterfeit instrument as well. So yeah, don't buy that. But let's look here for baritone for a second. So you're looking at this guy, about $240. That's cheaper, right? I mean, we were looking at like $380 on Amazon. I wonder if I think that might be the only one actually, though. Let's look at Youths. See if we got anything. I think it's oh well, here's one, but I'm not gonna buy a $600 one. If I'm gonna pay $600, we're gonna go for, I ain't doing it on Temu. Yeah, $240 again. Yeah, that's where you're like, okay. Now oboe, on the other hand, like Amazon, I'm priced out. Temu is a lot closer to me getting an oboe, and there seems to actually be more options, which is kind of weird. So if I'm looking here, like $270, I love it when it says like $1,300 and they cross it out like, oh no, it's 79% off back to school. It's like, don't joke. Like, don't even try to lie to me. Like, it's a $200 instrument, whatever. Like, don't pretend like it's a $3,000 horn off price now for $700. No. Now the bassoon, The bassoon is going to be an instrument that like I thought would be like yeah, when I'm like I have like 200,000 subscribers and I'm just like pulling in dough like crazy. Maybe I'll get a bassoon off of Amazon or something. There is a like I mean I was eyeballing the bassoons on Temu, like $500 for a bassoon. It's just like that's I mean we're getting close there, folks. Like that's cool. Bassoon for just a bassoon in general. Like obviously I'm probably gonna buy it and it's gonna be like a paperweight, but I don't know. It'd make a great video at least. I don't know if there's like a cheapest bassoon on Amazon video yet, but that person must be nuts or have a lot more money than I do, because I'm not in the market right now for a bassoon because I can't afford it. Another one is French horn. I've got a lot of people that say like check out a French horn, and I actually have one myself, but it is beat to all poop, and it's very bad. So I'd love to get a new French horn. And again, we're looking at like a couple $100 at the lowest end probably. I'd love to get a double. That's a single, double, $480. That's pretty expensive. Let's check Amazon for a second. I didn't know I was going to go on a shopping spree with you guys today, but I'm just kind of giving you my process. Yeah, single, double, $580. Yeah, so I mean, we get a double and it gets a lot more expensive. And if I'm going to get another one, I kind of want it to be a double just because I have a single already and it's bad. So I wouldn't mind giving it a shot, but $560, not going to happen. So, yeah, JSTN says AliExpress. Have both of those apps. I have Temu and AliExpress right next to each other on my phone. Almost every time, Temu has been a little bit cheaper. So I don't know what the deal is there. There's probably, like, it probably just depends on the day maybe. AliExpress seems to be a little more expensive than Temu. Seems to be a little still possibly cheaper than Amazon. It kind of just depends on the instrument. So every time now that I'm looking for an instrument, I got to look at like 3 different marketplaces to see if I can actually find whatever the cheapest thing is, right? I kind of like the symmetry of keeping them all Amazon so far. It just makes for nicer YouTube titles, I guess. And it actually makes it a little bit easier to cross-reference. But like I said, my saxophone video will be a Temu one, just because like $136 for that saxophone. It's unreal. I'm so excited for that video. It's gonna be crazy. So I'll take it back to the comments here. We'll get off of my shopping rant. I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna call it pretty quick here. I've been almost streaming for about 2 hours now. If anyone has any last questions or anything, now's the time. I would love to answer them. I will otherwise probably call it a night. This might be one of my earliest video bedtimes, because I usually start these things at like 10 and I go to like 2 o'clock recording them, and then I usually like start editing because I'm so excited. But all right, JSTN asks, would trumpet to French horn be a difficult switch? That's a great question. First off, as a beginner, French horn is tough, period. It doesn't matter what instrument you're coming from. It's just hard. And it's not because of like mouthpiece things or whatever. It's just a tough instrument because you have to have a really good ear. So like, let's say, I'm playing my trumpet here, right? And I go my partials from C to G to C. It's like the laziest band director posture in the entire world playing that trumpet. So C, G, C, like those are pretty easy to find on the trumpet because they're spread apart really well. French horn, those partials, those like same fingering notes are very, 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 very close together. So you have to be able to hear whether or not you're in the right spot because it's harder to just muscle it there. So I'd say as far as trumpet to French horn, the mouthpiece is not going to be that big of a deal. It's going to be a little smaller on the French horn. For me, it wasn't that hard of a switch there. It's kind of the same buzz. I find the trumpet to trombone, baritone, especially tuba, switch to be a little harder myself because it's bigger. So it's going to use like a little bit more versus. But yeah, I mean, if you can play trumpet really well, you will be able to pick up the French horn. But it's just going to be more of an ear thing than a play thing, probably, as far as like what's more difficult. I'll also say my creed as a band director, not all band directors will say this. You'll hear some people like, I'm an opinionated band director, apparently, but you'll hear some band directors that'll be like, you can't, like your fifth grader, you can't play that instrument because your mouth is not right, or like, oh, you don't have the lips for a trombone, you are a trumpet player. Like, it's not a thing, okay? Like, yes, maybe there's some physical differences between people that make it maybe a little easier or harder to pick up an instrument. Everybody can play every instrument. I mean, period. You can learn it. So if you're having trouble with an instrument, just practice more, right? Like practice slower, practice like different chunks, like tear the hard parts down. Like there's no reason why you specifically, whoever you are unable to play an instrument. You are. Just put a little bit more work into it, right? Don't let anybody tell you that you can't play an instrument. I would say the same thing with singing too. I'm not, like, my wife's a choir director. I'm not a, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a person to look up to for my singing abilities. But I'll say that, like, same thing with singing. Like, I think anybody can have the ability to learn pitch and sing. I mean, there's tone deafness. I don't really know that much about that, to be honest, but I mean, I think you can figure that stuff out. Just believe in yourself and try practicing more. You can do it. That was a huge rant, a huge tangent about someone asking about how hard French horn is compares to trumpet. Apparently I don't get enough time to just vent. It's been too long. It's been a long summer. All right. Adrienne Belmore asks, what about want to start a pro truck? Can't decide on which instrument. She's a beginner percussionist, intermediate bassist, intermediate beat maker. Don't know where to go in a professional way. Adrienne, if you want to give me a little bit more specifics on like what you're thinking about, but I mean, if I were you and you can make beats and like play bass, I'd just start there. Like make some sick beats on your computer program of choice, and then just start like playing some bass licks over top of it, right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. People say beginner percussionist. Everybody's a beginner percussionist, man. You just hit stuff. Percussion's easy. I don't know what the big deal is. I spent 6 years perfecting my percussion trick craft, but it's like I could teach a 5-year-old to play a drum set beat in like a couple lessons. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, I'm not saying percussion's easy. It's not. Percussion's very difficult depending, here's another thing I'll go into. Another little tangent here from me. I think that like I just went on a tangent about how hard French horn is. I have students ask me all the time what I think the hardest instrument is, and I say on the surface level to start, French horn is my answer to that question. You could probably say the same thing about like bassoon and blah, blah, blah. But I think French horn's the hardest because of the ear thing. But to perfect, you can't perfect, but to be like a professional or to get to the highest level, whatever that is to you, of an instrument, they're all the same. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't matter what instrument you pick, none of them, after you get past like the little baby steps at the beginning, none of them is any more easy than any other instrument. They're all just instruments. So if you are worried that like, oh, I don't want to, hamper myself later on, like once you get to a certain level of proficiency on an instrument, it's all just dependent on you and the teacher or like you and how much you practice and what you're practicing, how you're practicing it. Like if you want to get better, you will get better. It doesn't matter what the instrument is. They're all equally difficult at the highest levels anyways, right? So like no professional violinist is walking up to a professional percussionist and being like, man, your instrument's easy. It's just not how it works. They're all very difficult. Like some of the percussion stuff I played in graduate school, man, I'd spend hours and hours and hours in a practice room working on like one bar of like this crazy marimba lick because it was just hard. So when I say percussion's easy, I mean like anyone can walk up to a marimba and hit a C. You don't even need to practice it. You just do it. So yeah, there's some differences there. One of the hardest things for mallets is actually reading the music because you have to look up and down. That's a whole nother story too. Woo, man, it is getting late enough that I'm just rambly apparently. What's funny? When I started this live stream, like had the idea of it, I was like, I don't know if I could do a live stream, because what if I stop and don't have anything to talk about? Like, what if I like just run out of things to say? And apparently I forgot that like my job is to stand in front of like 50 students and just like ramble. I mean, like, yeah, we play music, but like a lot of the time I'm just talking about, you know, like theory and all that stuff. And like, that's what this is, man. I can talk forever, apparently. Sorry. I gotta get my caffeine in me to keep me going here. Let me see if I missed any questions. I'm sure I've missed like 30 because I keep rambling. Is it possible to play? This is by. Sorry, I can't actually see your name. It's like blacked out. See if I can see it over here. Nope. It says, is it possible to play a non-percussion instrument if you're not good at hearing when things aren't in tune? You will get better. That's what I'll say there. So yes, it is possible. That goes to my whole rant. You can play anything if you put the work into it. It might be a little more difficult. I'll say that when I started out, I didn't necessarily have a good ear. Man, like even percussion, you have to tune timpani. And tuning a timpani, there's such low frequencies that it's actually it's kind of difficult to catch the right whatever you're going for. It just comes with time. And I wouldn't worry about I don't worry about with my youngest students tuning, because it's not that big of a deal. It's just all about tone production and just getting the notes and rhythms figured out and like learned. The ear stuff comes with time and practice. So don't worry about, you know, being able to hear things are in tune or not. It honestly doesn't matter unless you're playing French horn, in which case you need to make sure you're on the right partial, which is hard. But every other instrument, like tuning is the least of your concerns, honestly. Now, if you're having trouble hearing, like, let's say here to here, like if you didn't just hear that go up steps, I mean, then we're talking a different level of, you know, having trouble hearing things in tune. But if you could hear that I went from low, medium, high, then you'll be fine. You just, you know, work on it. Yeah, Ken, you must have came in late, dude. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, these are metal valves. So that's actually the reason I was the most, where's the focus? That's the reason I was the most excited for this trumpet specifically. It's kind of why I picked it, even though it was like the cheapest. Now it wasn't the Pampet trumpet might have been cheaper than this actually by like $5. But the Pampet does not have metal valve casings, and it's not like, I've heard bad things about it. So I, you know, in forsaking my titling of the cheapest instrument, plastic, blah, blah, I went up one tiny little step. I added like $5 to get this one. So maybe eventually I'll get the cheap Pampet one, but I'm not really in the market for another cheap trumpet. And if I was, it'd be really tough not to just get another one of those metal Mendinis. Like, this is a good trumpet for $65. Can I play oboe Shadow Wolf? I will say the answer to that is I don't know. I don't know. I want to say that maybe 7 years ago, I played an oboe once while teaching a student, and that might be it. I did not play an oboe throughout my entire college education. We had woodwind pedagogy where we were supposed to learn all the woodwinds, and I got to every instrument except for oboe and bassoon, and they just didn't get them to me, and I've never played one. So I don't know. I'll have to practice it. Now, do I have any, I believe I will be able to play the oboe. When I get one, I'm not that worried about it. The mouthpiece is definitely going to be a concern as far as like doing it first. That might be its own video of like, watch this dumb band director play his first notes ever on a double reed. That might be kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any qualms about being able to learn it. I'll be able to figure it out. It's not going to be easy, probably. I won't belittle it, but I've learned almost every single other instrument except for oboe and bassoon at this point. I'll be able to figure it out. I just do this instead of this, right? All right, let's see if I got any more questions here. What sax should I learn for a ska band? I've heard tenor if there's trumpet and band, then I have to too close of a range. Trumpet and tenor range. I gotta really think. I mean, the good thing is, if you learn a saxophone, Paul, you can play all of them essentially. I mean, like there's differences, but like I can't even say main, but like my main saxophone is alto. I can play a bari just fine. I just push a little bit more air and drop my jaw down a little bit more than used to. And I'm not like a professional on any of them, but like if you can play a saxophone, you can play a saxophone. That's it. The fingerings are all the same. You're just going to have to adjust a little bit here. You're going to have to use a little bit different air. But yeah, I mean, you'll be able to play it. So if you learn, to try to do a ska band and you're trying to like you're worried about the sax clashing with another instrument, pick whatever saxophone you can get for, whatever price you're looking for. Tenor is going to be a little more expensive than alto. Bari's more expensive than those. And then kind of just go from there as far as learning is concerned. Once you learn a saxophone, you can play all the rest of the other saxophones. If you really wanted to pick one to start on, though, you're not going to go wrong with alto. I would just suggest starting on an alto anyways. You're going to pick it up and go a little bit quicker probably than a tenor and a baritone, just because it's a little bit probably just easier to blow into, honestly. It's a little easier to hold. All of those things just make the alto a little bit easier to start with. Now, that does not go for soprano. Soprano's got some interesting tuning things. I don't really have much experience myself on soprano. I will buy a soprano eventually. That will be a video someday because I want one. Not even really for school. I want a soprano sax. So I'll probably buy one. But I've heard that they're a little bit harder to play because of the tuning issues. Addie, could I have some advice for moving on from my director? You didn't see my thing earlier. He switched schools, and I found out today, and I've had him for 4 years. Yeah, I mean, that can be tough. When I moved schools, I mean, it's even hard for the director, right? Now, I will say this. And this is going to sound really biased because I'm a band director. So I'm going to say that if you are getting a new director next year, go easy on them to start with. You can say like they're more afraid of you than you are them. That's a weird thing, the kind of way to put it. But like, let's. I don't know your new band director, obviously, but if they're new to teaching, they are going to be throwing some spaghetti at the wall to try to figure out what they're doing. So just go into it knowing that. And don't take it personally if they go ham on you someday because they heard from a friend that you need to start off teaching by being really mean to your students and not being their friends and blah 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 blah, which is not actually necessarily bad advice for a new teacher because they are going to be like a lot of kids are going to push back at a new director because they liked their old director. Now, the thing that a band director looks for, if they're not looks for, but they get excited about if they're going to a new school, is if the kids hated their old band director. Man, it makes it a lot easier to take over a program. So it just kind of depends on the situation there. But yeah, I mean, just go into it with an open mind, Addie. Band. Whoever, it doesn't matter who's teaching you. Music's fun. Just let it be fun. They might push you a little bit harder than you used to, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Or maybe they're just a little bit more chill than you used to. That doesn't mean that you can't push yourself. So there you go. Ken, it's a Tromba. Yeah, it is a Tromba. Yeah, I'll have to keep open up for that flugelhorn. The flugels are a little bit more expensive. I've never played a flugelhorn, I don't think. So that'd be kind of fun to try out. I don't know if I'd want the plastic one to be my first, but yeah. Ken, if you missed some of the playing, this is it's not as magical as the trombone was. So I'm gonna give it some proper testing and we'll come back. But yeah, no problem, Paul. So let's see, Ryan, if you can play single reed, you can get a sound out of an oboe. Well, good. Go through the whole duck phase like any beginner. Yeah, I look forward to it. I still squeak on clarinets. I mean, it's like I said, I'm no professional anything really. I could pro percussion probably. I could play in like a symphony or something, and I could pretend I could. I've never done it, so I have actually subbed, but I'm not in a symphony, so I can't even pretend that I would make it. But I am good at percussion. I'm not really shy about my abilities there. As for soprano, I tried one in a music store with zero sax experience, but because clarinet is my main, I was able to play 2 octave scales about 15. Yeah, I mean, woodwinds are woodwinds. If you can play trumpet really well, you pick up a baritone, and it's just, I mean, you can just fly on it. It doesn't take much. So there's some advice for you guys. If you have never tried out a like instrument in your class, you know, give it a shot. You'll be surprised at how fast you can pick it up. Saxophone, you grab a flute and you're like, man, those fingerings line up really well. And you'll be surprised, as long as you can learn how to blow across the darn thing correctly, which is actually really difficult for some people. The fingerings and stuff will come pretty quick. Saxophone, clarinet, I think is even easier. Clarinet's a great bridging instrument for lots of things, I think. You just got to make sure if you play saxophone, you're actually a little bit more cognizant of where your fingers are going, because you need to cover the holes, which you don't have to do on a saxophone. It makes the saxophone a little easier. Yeah. All right. I think I've caught up to the comments here. I'll come back a little bit on studying more than one instrument at once. Any advice? Man, that's a good question. That's from Beautiful Sam. I'll say it again quick because I kind of read it weird. Any advice on studying more than one instrument at once? So I'm like a multi-instrumentalist at this point. I can play lots of things kind of well, which I think is actually a great way to do music, right? If you play an instrument right now, but you don't play piano, that's gonna, like, I would suggest that as your first thing. Start plunking away at piano. And I'm not saying like go take piano lessons, but like you know, just start looking up some videos online of just like some chords and stuff and see if you can figure that out. Piano is like, it's just a great instrument to be able to know. It's going to be one of those things you can always walk into any place and they're going to have a piano sitting there, and if you can just tinkle around on it. I now play piano for my wife for her choir. Never thought I'd be able to be good enough for that, but I just because I, you know, back in high school, I just jump on a piano and just go boop, 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 and just hit things. Couldn't read notes, but I just did that anyways. But I'd say I talk to a lot of my students about this because, you know, I'm the guy who picks up a bunch of instruments and it's fun and I love playing all these instruments. But if you are young and you are starting an instrument, focus on that. And I don't want to like dissuade anybody for trying out multiple instruments. You can do whatever you want, obviously. But if you only have enough time in the day to practice X amount of hours, you will get better at music as a whole by focusing on one instrument, okay? I'm at the point now where I took my one instrument to like the 99th percentile, essentially, of how good you could play it. And now I could, instead of getting a little, like a barely minuscule bit better at percussion, I could get a lot better on a trumpet by putting in the same amount of practice time. Does that kind of make sense? So if I was starting an instrument, I would focus most of my attention on one thing. Now, and when you got a couple years under your belt and you start to get, you know, like comfortable on an instrument, start, you know, playing through scales and all that good stuff, then if you want to play around with another instrument, that's great. Do it. You know, it's not going to hurt you. Just make sure that it doesn't take away too much time away from getting good at the other instrument, because instruments are great in that they are hard. It's kind of weird to say, but it's not, man, music is not an instrument, not an instant gratification thing. It's something that you can plunk away with years and get better and better and better. And it's always rewarding to play. I'm obviously like the most biased person in the world, a flipping band director, but that's right. I mean, the reason I play all of these instruments now is because, honestly, as a band director, it does not behoove me to go and practice percussion anymore. Not that I don't practice percussion, because I do, but I don't need to teach at the level that I need to be able to teach. Now, if I were to get a little bit better at the flute, I would become a better flute teacher. Getting a little better at percussion is not going to make me a better percussion teacher necessarily, because my kids are not at the level that I need it. I have a flute player that is better than me at the flute, so if I could get a little bit better, I'm sure I could teach her a little bit better. So it's kind of weird that way. All right, I'm going back to some comments here. Let's see. See you, Ken. Thanks for dropping by the stream, man. It's great to see you. Ken is like one of my biggest supporters on Patreon, and like he shot me a couple emails, and all the love for Ken. Ken's a great guy. So let's see. I am a JSTN. Sorry, I don't know how to say Justin, I guess. No vowel Justin. I am a high school director, I am a middle school director, and I am a 5th grade band director. I teach 5 through 12. My first job was honestly, like I taught at grad school when I was there. I was a graduate assistant, but from there I jumped to a middle school band position. Took me back to my hometown, and so then I taught middle school and sort of high school here in the town I live. I also co-taught with the high school director in marching band. I'd be like the percussion guy, and I wrote the percussion stuff and all that good stuff. And then now I jumped ship to a smaller school, so I teach 512. So I teach beginners all the way up to the top high school, which I love. I love it. I was always scared that I would hate teaching the younger kids, but I really like it now. All right, make sure you practice both. Favorite one or the other. Someone really wants to know your favorite color. You know what? My favorite color is blue. Tell your daughter, thank you for asking. Blue. Let's see what other questions we got here. I was gonna cut this stream like a half hour ago, and I went on a bunch of tangents. Everyone in the house right now is asleep, so it's like whatever. I can stay up forever. Let's make this okay. I'm not even gonna pretend this is gonna be an all-nighter. I will go to bed eventually. Oboe slept on. I'd love to have an oboe in the school. I'm not gonna lie. I would love it, but I just don't have any kids right now that seem like they're chomping at the bit for it, and we don't have one. So John asks, what are the best opportunities to try other instruments in the family? He recently finished high school career playing trombone, never really had a chance to play other brass. John, that's kind of tough, because I was going to say, if you're in school, ask a buddy, right, to try out their horn. Grab some of that green sanitary spray and just try out their horn. But I will say, look into the town you're in. Look into joining a city band if you're not like in a college band already, because then you already have a bunch of friends or whatever that you can ask to try out their instruments. But if you join a city band, that would also be another opportunity where you could meet some people and talk about trying out their horns. You could also go to a music store and just ask them. They literally might just like let you try out an instrument to play around with. Either that or ask your old high school band director to see if you can come in if you're really curious to it. The other thing I'll say is, and it's weird. I always put this, for whatever reason, it's always a food thing for me, but I'm always just like, skip McDonald's for a week and skip supper. I'm a weirdo. I only eat one meal a day anyway. So like skip, a meal you usually eat a week, or eat ramen for a week, and then just buy a cheap Amazon instrument to try out, right? Like, I mean, I think I bought, what we went out to eat the other night, and I think we spent like $30 on that meal. $30 for food for my family. I mean, I got 5 people in my family, but like $30 is a lot of money. That's two of those meals I could have just bought another trumpet. That's unreal, right? And that trumpet works really well. So like, don't sleep on the cheap horns. I guess I'm saying, if you get a dud, don't come to me and be like, well, you said blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't know. All I know is the one I bought, those ones have turned out to be really good, especially for how cheap they were. Man, people will say like, I talk to other band directors, and a lot of them, I'm going to move this, it keeps shaking. A lot of the other band directors I talk to talk about these cheap Amazon horns as if they're like some tragedy, or travesty that they exist. Like, this should not be a thing. Like, all these horns are depriving kids and blah, blah, blah. Like, I honestly think at this point, now that I've tested them all myself, like I can base my own opinions on my own stuff. I really think that these instruments are great to allow kids who would otherwise not have the ability to afford an instrument. So I mean, if you want to just try one out, don't feel bad about just getting the cheapo ones, because heck, man, if it works, it works. Do you think I can bridge to the oboe? I mean, without even reading the rest of it, Austin, absolutely. Because, anyone can play anything. I think. I honestly do. So, yeah, ask your band director to try it out, man. That'd be awesome. Clarinet to oboe, actually, if you're going to make a switch, that's probably one of the easier ones to make. So, go for it, dude. let me see what else we got for comments here before I maybe decide to kind of wrap up. Yeah, like Contrabass Chris, to his thing in middle school, he's started to get bored with his instruments and started borrowing the unused ones at his school and teaching himself with the beginner books. That's awesome. And I'll say that's actually the way that I learned most of my instruments, when I was just starting out, is because I was teaching, my beginner kids with my beginner books, and I would just teach myself at the same time. It's kind of funny. When I got to grad school, one of the first things I said to my grad teacher was that I was really unhappy with my sight reading ability. And the reason why was because when I started college, I couldn't read music. Not grad school, but college. I couldn't read music. I just never had to. I was always the drummer. My band director never made me play marimba because I was so dang good at the snare drum. So I just played drums. When I got to college, I got to like my first week of school, and my theory professor took me and about 3 other kids aside, and he said, if you guys don't get your act together in about a week, you should change majors. And I mean, I was all gung-ho to be a band director at that point. So I got my stuff together really fast, and I learned music. And actually on my website, one of the first things I created for I have a bunch of worksheets on my website. It's kind of separate from my YouTube stuff. But one of my first things I created was a note reading and fingering together worksheet set. And I've got thousands of pages of this thing now that have like tons of band directors use these things now because it was a thing that I needed when I was in school to create I needed something like that to help me learn music, and it didn't nothing was there. Here, I'm gonna peddle my wares for a second. I'm gonna take you guys hostage. So let's see here. We're gonna go to madmusic.band. This is my website. It is not really connected necessarily to my other stuff, but this is not necessarily YouTube related. But this is the first thing I ever created for my students, and it is so dang good for learning to read music. And the reason I did it, here's the tuba, and here's the trombone, and it's just if you had a Mad Minute in math class in school, it is like this, and it's because I could not read music, period, when I started out. So that's that was near and dear to my heart, was making sure that I found a better way for people to read music. So yeah, I and also if you guys are care, if you go to the free stuff, not this, where am I at here? Don't even know where to do my own thing on my own website. If you go here, I have a bunch of these for free as well. I'm not trying to actually sell this stuff to you guys. This page is mostly to sell things to other band directors to make their lives easier. Not for YouTube folks. You guys don't need to buy my stuff. Don't buy my stuff. So yeah, that's that. Can't even hardly remember what the question was. Just got off on a tangent. Band director tangent. Family said the next year they're gonna buy me a clarinet. That's awesome, Addie. Suggestions do I have to buy a clarinet? It's all about budget. You can say that about most things in life. If you've got, say I'm buying a computer, if I've got $100 budget, a MacBook Pro is not going to be a computer that I'm going to be able to afford, Now, I don't have a MacBook Pro, but, and that wouldn't be my first choice anyways, but you're not going to be looking at a, whatever Yamaha professional model clarinet if you're in a $300 budget. It's just, yeah. So I'll say this. I'll give you a couple tiers, and this kind of goes. I'm gonna use a. I got to go back to incognito so I don't give my address. Here's the tier list here. So this time gonna be capitals. If you are looking for cheap instruments, I'll probably make a video on this eventually soon too. Clarinet's just the example. This works for most anything. Tier 1, okay, cheapo instruments. Anything on Amazon, probably going to be all about the same quality. I can't say that for sure. I've only looked at one, but my gut reaction when it comes to these instruments is that they're all probably around the same level of quality. Okay, like I think that they're probably all. Now I could be wrong too. Again, so many times will I preface this, but I think they're probably all the same darn thing, right? Like they're all probably from the same factory in China. They're just branded differently, and you know what have you from there. I would love to be proven wrong. If someone could like send me a link, like Mendini, if you want to like throw me a message and if you want to throw me a message and we will darn it here. Sorry, I need to get to my. There we go. Throw me a message and you know, give me a tour of your factories. I'd love to come down there and see what it's all about. But if you didn't know this, bike manufacturers, like I want to say like 95 or like almost every single bike frame, the frame of the bike is made in the same factory in the world. Like they're all made from this one factory, and then they're all shipped to the different makers, and they all brand them differently and talk about all the great things that happened there, but they're all made in the same place. I think it's probably the same with these cheap instruments, right? Now, what I will say, in my band director researching, I've also never played one of these, but the Jean Paul has it. This would be like what I would call tier 2. Okay, you're looking at about like $250. I've heard good things about that $250 clarinet, the Jean Paul. Never played one. I cannot personally vouch for it, but I've heard good things about it. You might be good to go if you get that one as like a tier 2. The other thing to look at if you're looking at like $250 range, look at for used instruments. Okay, so like look on Amazon, or excuse me, look on eBay, look on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, great. Depending on where you live, you can find some great instruments there. But then you're also going to have to budget a little bit for cleaning / potentially repairs, but you could get a much nicer horn that way too. And then after that, you're looking at like the, you know, Yamaha clarinet. Yamaha is like the first name that always pops into my head when you're thinking like just a good instrument. I don't know what branding happened there. Yamaha makes everything, man. They make like motorcycles and like drum sets, and I mean, it's everything. But Yamaha, Jupiter, Selmer, Buffet, I mean, like all of those brands are going to be your typical music store student models. All those will be great. Okay, you'll be safe with any of them. They're all just good. So if you want to, like, that's kind of what you're looking at there too. Nothing against, you know, like a pay-to-own system, as long as you're not getting fleeced by, you know, whatever music store is trying to do the pay-to-own. Always, you know, figure out what the actual full price of that's going to be at the end of it. Even if they say, you know, like, and I could get attacked by other band directors for saying this too, but I'm all about the deal. So like, let's say, you know, it says like 0% APR, like we're not going to add anything onto it, but then you add it all together and that Yamaha student trumpet ends up being $900 when you can buy it online right now for $650. Just because the music store sells it for $900 doesn't mean that it's $900. And now I even feel bad saying that, because like small town music stores, man, they're just like, it's hard to survive. Like when you have to buy, like a music store is going to buy the reeds that they sell in the box for the same price you can buy them on Amazon. So then when you go buy them from the music store, it's going to be like $40 instead of $20, because they have to make a profit. And like, how can you justify buying a reed as a consumer for $40 at your local music store when you can buy it yourself for $20? It's tough, man. It's tough for everybody, because I mean, it kills small business, which sucks. But I also personally don't have that much money. And I'm not going to waste $20 extra on something I don't have to. Oh, man. So look through the comments. Ryan's got some good suggestions. Yeah, the Buffet B12s. Again, the E11, the B12. I have not played those either. The B12 is like a little bit a higher range than my student model one. I have the Buffet Prodige, which I really like. That was, let's see here. How much is that guy? My instrument, which I can personally vouch for. Man, we are getting specific here, huh? Why is that not working? Buffet Crampon Prodige. There we go. That instrument comes out to be... of course, I click on it, it says find a dealer. That doesn't help me. All right, so there it's popping up for like dang, 800. It was cheaper than 800 when I bought it. Come on, here we go, 530. So you can get my clarinet for 530, and I like it. I like it a lot. I will say, looking back, if I was to spend the money on a clarinet, personally, because I have tried both now, I would buy this 60 whatever dollar one. I would buy a $20, $30 mouthpiece, $100 all in. That would be my clarinet. Okay. And the reason for me, though, is that's not my main instrument. I don't play it very much. If it was my main instrument, it'd make a lot more sense to spend a lot more money. So there you have. The other thing to note too is, I mean, it's not like buying a instrument's gonna like say spend $500 on your instrument. It's gonna be worth money as long as you take care of it too. So you have to sell it later. Like you're gonna get some of that money back. So it's not like you're just throwing money in the garbage can or something. Yeah. Let's see if we got any more comments here. Band director now good. Yeah, Justin, you got it, man. I could ramble and ramble and ramble. Tangents are my main game apparently. All of my videos so far have been unscripted. I have thought about getting a teleprompter, but the thought of writing a script out it's homework. And if there's anything that I don't like, is homework. I hate homework. I hate it. I hated it when I was in school. I don't like giving it to my students unnecessarily. I don't like homework, so I don't like doing, writing out a script either. So I usually just go off the cuff for these. Maybe I could become a much more famous, big-time YouTuber if I wrote scripts out. I'm gonna try a little bit harder actually with this trumpet to trumpet battle here between the plastic and the brass one, but we'll see. I'll probably just do a bunch of off-the-cuff talking there because writing scripts is boring, and I don't like it. I'd rather just talk in front of a camera and see what happens. Shadow Wolf, I don't know. What do you guys think? You like the live stream so far? Should I do another one? I wouldn't mind doing another one. I'd have to have a good topic though, and I'm not always going to have an instrument to, to pull out and do an actual thing for. But if you guys had some great, ideas for live streams, I'd love to do that. I'd like to have something specific to talk about, at least for the part of it. And then from there, I can ramble on and we can just, have a heck of a time or whatever. So I had music and did learn to read music. Yeah, man, Addie, that's so lucky that you learned to read music early. We try to teach our kids, our students at the school to read music like really, really young. But it seems like every year you come back the next year, everybody's forgot everything. It's tough, man. I don't know what the deal is. I think you really got to just consistently hit it hard. That's something I'm still working on. Yeah, Contrabass Chris, you got it exactly, man. That Phobes debut mouthpiece. Hey, I'm gonna do another one of these. You guys ready? I'm gonna pedal my wares again. We're gonna go back to my website. So if you go to my band gear guide, this one you actually can use. It's a little bit more useful for just musicians in general, not just band directors. If you come here, you have all of my recommendations for gear, okay? And I'm not putting anything like super expensive here. So like here's my reeds things. I give little suggestions about all of them. If you go down to the woodwind accessories, this list of mouthpieces, and I talked to a lot of band directors to get this list too. All of these mouthpieces are going to be good, and they are all very reasonably priced. So if you're looking for, if you are going to get the cheapo clarinet off of Amazon, one of these reeds here, the Rico, the Yamaha, the Premier, or the Phobes, are going to be good. I mean, you're going to pop it on that thing, it's going to go great. I want to say the most expensive is the Yamaha, and I want to say it's like 40, yeah? So you're looking at the Premier is 26, Phobes 30, and Rico is probably the cheapest. I think it's 20. Yeah, 22. So there you go. That is my suggestion if you're gonna do saxophone, or excuse me, clarinetting via Amazon. I have not gotten the cheapest saxophone yet. For all I know, those mouthpieces are trash too. So we'll have to see. I love how I have my first live stream and all the comments are like, man, band directors can go on tangents. It's funny, like every band director I've ever had,
awesome at going on tangents. Same with choir directors too, actually. I won't just throw the band directors on the bus. Just music directors, I think, are just tangent machines, man. But yeah, I've had a lot of, there was days in our choir class in high school where if we didn't want to sing, we could just basically bait our choir director into going on a tangent for the whole rehearsal. And we just wouldn't have to do anything because we could just like keep, pulling it forward. It's so funny. So you know who you are, my old choir director. So let's see. Great job on the live stream. Yeah, have a great night, Joel. Thanks for coming, man. Yeah, shoot, real quick. Show me your recommendation for a trumpet, Austin. Yes, I can. We're all here. I might as well do it. So, all right. Ready for this? Oh, that one's trumpet. Amazon. Well, now I'm on my own Amazon. Whatever. All you can see is my town. So you'll find me, I guess. Creep me out. All right. So the trumpet I got, right? This is the one I purchased. The thing you will see here, I'm kind of, that's a great point here that I should talk about as well. Could make a whole video about this too. The pricing of Amazon instruments is stupid. It's dumb. So you'll see that this is $137. This is not a $137 horn. It's not. When I bought it, it was 3 something like that. It's like 65-ish. That is what that horn would be worth, I think. And actually, I mean, it plays well enough that like I wouldn't feel bad buying it for $138. If you bought that horn for $138 and it plays as well as this one, you still got a heck of a deal, I think. But I bought it for $65, right? So what you have to do, if you have the luxury of waiting, wait to find one of these cheap brass trumpets when it is on sale, whatever that means, because it is not this, like this was like 60 whatever dollars, right? Another thing to look at when you're looking at these horns, depending on the color, the price changes. Doesn't make any sense to me. The other thing that doesn't make sense is why would you advertise the $138 one on the front page when this one is $104? It's the same horn. It's just black. Like, I'm also of the mind that like if you're gonna get a horn and you don't care what other people think, like your band director might feel differently, but I think why don't you get a cool color one because it's cool, right? Like obviously if you get a cool color one, people are gonna know that your trumpet is not super expensive. If you care about that kind of thing, just keep that in mind. No one's gonna see a pink trumpet and go, I wonder if that's like a $3,000 horn. It's just not gonna happen. But there's nothing that says that instruments can't have cool colors. Why did we all decide that, gold and silver were the only acceptable colors? It doesn't make any sense. If I'm a 5th grader and I see a pink horn and that like gets me into wanting to try band, heck yeah, man, get that pink horn. All right, so that's tier 1 for trumpets, right? Just any cheap brass trumpet you can find. All of these here. Tier 2, I'm probably just gonna have to say that John Paul again, just because it's like the only middle of the road that's not, name brand whatever trumpet that I would say is, at least I have other band directors who have vouched for it. I can't personally, but like right here, the John Paul 430 for $390, that's probably your tier 2. Anything cheaper than that, I think you're probably off better just getting the cheapest one, right? Whether it's East Rock or Mendini or Taxon or whatever that ends up being. Actually, right here, the $200 John Paul may be the one to get then. I don't know what the difference is. Oh, this is the intermediate. So the beginner one, the student level, is $200. That's probably tier 2. I have not personally looked for one of those instruments, so that's why I don't know them as well. And then your tier 3 is just pretty much whatever brand, like typical music store brand name instrument you can get. Yamaha, Kahn, Jupiter, I mean, whatever big name, whatever is at your music store and is like $500 and whatever, that is going to be a safe, good instrument. There will be some trumpet people that would probably have very strong opinions about which one of those would be the best. I'm not one of those people. So, and I'm not saying that I'm right, because I'm not. But, if I type in Yamaha student trumpet, you get an idea of, this is kind of what you're probably looking for the Yamaha student level trumpet. I think you might be able to get it a little cheaper than $800. $800 seems a little rich to me. I feel like you should be able to get a trumpet for $500. That's like a name brand. I could be wrong though. I haven't really looked. Maybe Jupiter is a little cheaper than Yamaha typically. No, but also I wouldn't necessarily buy one of these brands off of Amazon anyways, because I think you like if you're gonna go this route, just go to a music store or possibly a music store online. Store wasn't the right ones, but if I go to what's a musician's friend is a very large online music store. I type in trumpet. You're not going to be getting the cheapest trumpets here. And Etude, see, if I was going to do this one, I would just go down a level, I think. And I get either the John Paul or I just go all the way down to like the $80 ones or whatever you can find. But then at this point, now you're looking at $1,000 instruments. Let's see if they have like a student model, anything here. Student, when you type in student, you're typically looking at the cheapest instruments by the name brands. That's just what they call them. That's still an Etude. I wouldn't probably do Allura. I don't think I would call that like a typical top tier name brand. Getzenwood, but that's expensive. Yeah, I don't know, and I'm being very underwhelmed here by musician's friend, but that's not. I mean, here let's go to Thomann quick. Thomann Music I had not even heard of before I bought my clarinet, but they are like a European, I believe, website that has some pretty good instrument deals. They have their own. Startone's like a cheap. Yeah, I'm not gonna install your app. Startone makes like cheap pianos. I've seen. I don't know if I would trust a trumpet from them necessarily, but I've never tried it. Thomann has their own name brand stuff. Here's what you're looking for. So right, this Yamaha trumpet, right? That would be like your tier 3, good to go student trumpet. No one's ever gonna bat an eye if you walk in with the Yamaha YTR T330. It's gonna work good for you. But would it work, 5 times better than my cheap trumpet? No. So there you go. Wow. I talked for a long time on that one. I can't get through one question without talking for like 10 minutes. Whew, man. Jody Jazz, saxophone mouthpieces, my old band director / co-teacher loves his Jody Jazz. So I never played one myself, but that's I have heard good things about those mouthpieces as well, Muhammad. Let's see. John, thanks for coming, man. Let's see what else we got. John Paul's no to Yamaha, but definitely a step up the instrument shape, time, his tier and build quality. Yeah, Ryan, that's what I've been told. I should try one someday. But I just, it's one of those things where we're at a point where, like I'm kind of spoiled that I get to buy all these like cheap instruments. Not spoiled, I have to buy them. But I at least have a little bit of insight into what these cheap instruments are like, right? Which is nice. I would love to be able to put a cheapo against a Jean Paul, against an Allura, or whatever it's called, against a Yamaha. Like, we're looking at a whole nother realm of money at that point, right? So once I can start throwing around $2,000 to buy 5 different horns in the same tier of instrument, we may never know. We may never be able to tell the difference between them or at least I can't, because I don't have those horns. There's probably, and the other thing is, that's kind of a bummer in this space. If you do find somebody that has those horns, it's usually either a professional, but not, because the professional is not going to be going through the cheap stuff anyways, or because they wouldn't come usually and do that unless it's like a YouTuber or something. Or it's going to be like a music store, and a music store is going to be very biased. And I can't like just throw every music store down the tube here, but they're going to have a reason to want to buy their own, or like sell their own stuff, right? And the music store is not going to have these instruments because they don't go about selling $60 trumpets to people. There's just no money in it for them. So, I mean, it's just, it's tough. Yeah, Terry bought his wife a pink trumpet. That's awesome. That's sweet. Player's not it's not It's the player, not the instrument most of the time. Absolutely agreed. 100%. I thought differently. I may feel differently about this trumpet. We'll see. This plastic one. But the player is so much more important than the instrument. 100%. Same with like the thing that I always equate it to. I'm a tennis player. I always think of it like tennis rackets, right? Like the old professional tennis players used wooden rackets. They were still very good tennis players. Now, I'm not saying they weren't like if those tennis players back in the day with those wooden rackets had the rackets we have now, they would be even better racket or tennis players, 100%. But a, old school professional with a wooden racket, and wooden rackets are bad, like in comparison to now rackets, is going to beat a bad tennis player with a good racket every time. It's the same thing with instruments. A professional, and that's kind of the thing that I like to think of myself a little bit here, because I'm not a professional on most of these instruments. I come with a unique insight of like, if an instrument doesn't play for a bad player, it's not like you'll be able to tell, right? If a professional walks up and they grab one of these horns, they're gonna sound great on them because they're professionals. I'm not a professional. I'm not gonna sound great if the instrument's terrible. So that's kind of nice because like I can come in with my unique insight of being not great to these horns. So if I sound good on these horns, that like as a student, you're probably going to be able to pull it off. And I'm better than a beginner, right? Like I can do some things that a beginner can't do. I can adjust for some things because I just have a little bit more experience than that. But like, I'm no virtuoso on an instrument. I'm not going to make a bad instrument sound good. I will make an okay instrument sound okay and feel good about it. I would also make a great instrument sound okay because I'm not a professional. I'm not going to be pulling out the top of the line thing and making it sound fantastic. Let's see. Can we rank different instruments throughout orchestra and band? I don't know how I would even go about ranking an instrument. Percussion, number 1. Everything else, number 2. It's not even, I would have my own ranking system, but best size trumpet mouthpiece for intermediate. It's all the player. It's all dependent on what you think. I play on a 3C. It means nothing. Like I don't do it for any specific reason. I just have always. Now I will say I've thought about playing around with going up to a smaller bore size, like a 7 or like I had like a 12 something B. I'm going to say something that doesn't even exist because I don't know trumpet mouthpieces that well. But I like playing high. And playing high is a little easier if you have a higher numbered mouthpiece. It's more complicated than that probably. But a 3C is not going to be your upper range high playing mouthpiece. And that's what I've always played on. So I can hit a very high note. Good night, Brian. Thanks for coming, man. But that's not because of my mouthpiece. It's just because I can, fake real good, I guess. For higher tier instruments, buying used is also important. I agree there too. I've gotten a lot of very, very usable, good used instruments. And the thing you will find if you're like, like a garage sailor or like, you can hit pawn shops up and get lucky every once in a while too. You can find some instruments that are even cheaper than these, depending. Like if you hit an auction or a estate sale or something. Like I don't know how many people are out there like talking about, like there's like a Pawn Stars style reality show that needs to be hit for people running around trying to find the cheapest instruments places. But I'd love to do that because I love finding deals on instruments. Like that's why I was like in my Japan video, I was so excited to find those 2 instruments because I got them for like half price for a new one, which is huge as long as they played well. And that one plays great. This one plays great. This one does not play great, but I need to try a different reed on it. So we'll try it with a different reed. If the other reed doesn't play well, I have some thoughts about that instrument that I'm gonna be saying in a different video that are not super complimentary. So we'll see. That instrument markets itself as being very easily playable. I disagree so far. So if it's going to market itself that way, I think it should play easier than an alto. No, not even a little. So That one is a lot easier to play, I think. So there you go. Good night, Brian. I think I said that already. Hey, thanks, Terry. Sound great for a percussionist. I like to think that I sound pretty good for, not being a main on most of these instruments. I can outplay a lot of my students on a lot of their instruments. I don't know if that makes me a bad band director or a good player. Probably both. I don't know. But yeah, I like to think that I'm doing okay as far as my playing ability is concerned on, non-percussion stuff. Looking for a bass bone for high school jazz band. I have no recommendations, Mohammed, on bass bones. Sorry, man. I wish I did. I'd love to say that, I've had a lot of experience there, but I don't. So yeah, I got nothing for you. Sorry. Flute, got an antique store for $18, but almost all the pads need replaced. Didn't get it fixed or everything. Yeah, see, that's the deal about those cheap instruments. Like when people say, don't get a cheap Amazon one, get a used horn and then get it fixed up. I guarantee you, okay, I don't guarantee it, but you could get an instrument for free. The repair is probably going to cost more than one of those instruments. And these instruments play good. That's it. I mean, they play good. There's no guarantee that you get that used instrument fixed up. It's going to play well. Now, I'm not saying there isn't like deals of the century out there. You could get a Yamaha used horn and fix it up, and it's probably going to play like a sick $800 horn or something. That's great. Like that deal is out there somewhere, but don't knock these. Until you like. I mean, I'm not out here to tell you should only spend $60 on a horn. But if you don't know what to do, you're buying a second instrument or whatever. Like these are options too. Because they work. They're going to work probably better than an antique store $18 horn does. And if you get it repaired, that $18 horn is going to become like a $150 horn. And then it's like maybe it'll play great. I don't know. Hopefully. Played in the Army band system for 20 years. Nice. On a King 8B bass trombone. Couldn't afford a new bass trombone. I've had it for 35 years and played Tromba for my tenor horn. Oh, nice. Yeah, that Tromba, I'm really impressed with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember when I made that first video, a lot of people were kind of ragging on it, like, oh, you can't use that for actual band. It sounds too different. I don't think it does. It does not sound the exact same. It's not a brass horn. I can't pretend that it's like totally up to the same quality. But unless you are a professional, that horn is good enough for a band. Like you'll blend in fine. It plays great. I mean, I don't know. Your band director, again, might feel differently, but I don't. I wouldn't give my student any flat for coming in with that thing. It plays great. So, yeah, I like it a lot. Sign off for the night, almost midnight Eastern time. Yeah, Ryan, what time is it here? 10:50. All right. Last drink, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging on with me. Man, I gotta realize that if I do another live stream, I better be in for all night then, huh? I just ramble on and on and on. I think I talked about that trumpet for like maybe 45 minutes or something, and then it all just random talking. Yeah, Barry Sax, same thing. I had a student. Oh, Shadow, I was about to sign off, and here you got me on a question I want to answer. Oh, man alive. All right, I'm going to see if I can find it. I have a student that purchased their own Barry Sax. That's funny. Let's see if I can find it. He went on Amazon. He typed in Barry Sax. I wanted to pull it up later, and I couldn't find it. I don't remember what it's called, but I think if I see it, I will know. It's not a Mendini. I know that off the track. It was called something different. But he really likes it. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going to sort by high. So we got Yamahas, Jupiter, Wellington, Selmer, Levant. He literally had never played a saxophone before, and he just walked in one day and was like I talked him into joining a band because he's a great musician. He's a great singer. I knew he'd be awesome. And he just walked in that year with a Barry Sax. And man, that's a proud band director moment because that kid's killing it. Absolutely killing it. And I can't take any of the credit either. He's just a Pray Kid. I don't think this is it. Let's see if I can get a brand on here. Pegasus? And that's not Aurosis. I don't think this is it. I'll have to get back to you on the Barry sax. But he really likes it, and it's not a low. It's not like a low. It goes down to a low A, I think. Oh yeah, actually, hey, this one does too. Maybe this is it. But it works out great for him. There's again, you're looking at one review. Maybe it's him. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at there. So that's $1,800 is pretty cheap for a Barry sax. You look at the Mendini, same kind of deal. $1,800. That's cheap. I can't give the full Mad Music recommended weight behind it because I've never played one myself. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Barry sax too is you're looking at, even going for the cheapest one, $1,800 is a lot of money. So it'd be a real heartbreaker if you bought an $1,800 horn and it ended up not being good, right? So yeah, that's tough. I don't have a specific recommendation here. Been playing trumpet music for a year and I've gotten pretty good, probably just average to be honest, but pretty good for my first year. That's awesome, man. Yeah, good for you, Justin. Okay, I'm going to bed. It is 11-ish p.m. here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on the first chat. There's like a couple of you left chilling still. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you super much to the people who did the super thanks and comments and stuff. Like that is absolutely unnecessary but appreciated. Thank you guys so much. So I am, I'll go back to my little intro slide here. I am Chase Jamison. I am signing off for my first ever live stream. Thank you guys for being here for it.